Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tombs of Scoria. How are my most advanced players doing today?
Advanced in what?
Their characters are the most advanced level
that he's ever had.
That doesn't
Very
sound like what you were
factual
implying.
greeting that.
We're doing great, I think, right?
We're all doing good, yeah. We've discussed it beforehand and we're doing good.
That's good.
Great. Yeah, great. We're getting snow in the middle of May here, and it's a little bit weird. Hopefully it won't down the power lines until the show is after done. So let's get started. Our players are looking into some magical items. There are important things that you absolutely need in order to kill Scoria. MrMouton, Anton needs a better spear. This +2 spear, it just ain't doing it.
Cutting it.
Yeah.
And he's got a mommy goddess that he prays to.
A sugar mama.
Yeah, he's a sugar mama.
Yeah.
Who he's going to give his life to in indentured servitude. So he's going to be asking for a new spear, and this is not going to just be for Scoria. This is probably going to be the spear that he has to use in Solemn, because he's thinking, I'm going to get a good spear in Scoria's lair, but this lightning spear, I got to give it back because I made an oath. So we got to give that back. I'm going to be using this spear and the Scoria spear in my duties to my
Scoria
goddess.
Spear?
The spear that
He's
we're going to get.
assuming that there's going to be a spear like in her lair, you know.
Okay, cool.
A +6.
He's like, I gotta write that in.
Shimmering, glowing scimitar appears before you.
We also need scrolls of protection from fire.
Yeah.
There's no way you can do this without those, right?
Absolutely not.
And
Wait.
last but not least,
I was gonna say
potions
before we
of
need to have a
slipperiness.
discussion of like what stacks how to make sure that we are getting the right things, because I think we were discussing that oil of fire resistance or something, and we were making it the implication I think Koibu was you were saying that wouldn't stack with the ring of fire resistance, so we need to make sure that like we're getting stuff that is like additively
The
stacked.
scrolls are separate and different than the rings, and so the scroll and the ring will stack.
Okay.
Well, they don't need to stack. The scroll, you cannot get hurt by fire
rid of
with the
it.
scroll. If the scroll is somehow dispelled, then we need the rings.
Yes. So I believe that the scroll makes it so you are fire immune.
Yeah. To even the hottest or magical fires. I think it
That
says.
includes dragonfire.
Let's not read it again, Neal. Must have read that thing every week.
You know,
One of the maybe the text will
read it
change.
one more time. So
I believe the thing, while you read that, the other thing that he was going to bring up is the oil of slipperiness. Because one of the big problems is our characters getting held down, even though they're so strong. So we're going to need that too. We need like, a bunch of...
okay, the scroll of protection from fire, casting time 8, reads as thus: protection extends to a 30-foot diameter sphere centered on the reader. Anyone can read this. Doesn't have to be a wizard or cleric. Anyone can read it. All in this area are able to withstand flame and heat of the hottest type, even magical and elemental in nature. Lasts for 1d4 plus 4 turns. A turn is 10 rounds.
and it's centered on
Magical
the
or
person so they
elemental?
can move with it.
That includes
Yeah, you can
dragonfire,
move with
right?
it. That includes dragonfire.
Okay.
Dragonfire is magical.
So we're gonna have everyone's gonna have one of them on us, and then we've got the 2 ion stones as well, so that no dispels can get in, no fire can get in.
And you don't carry those ion stones with you. They're not like deployed above your head in
No,
day to day.
no.
Where do you keep them?
It's a good point. They're probably got to be somewhere safe.
Yeah, no, just in our bag of holding.
Yeah, with us is probably the safest place they can be.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And the
Man,
potion.
if one of those bag of holdings break, we're going to be real fucking mad.
Yeah.
That's how I can buy another 6 months of game time, is just by destroying a bag of holding.
Break one bag.
True, it felt like we were writing a new rule last time that I didn't want to push too hard on, but
Spears going in the bag.
yeah, are we not supposed to have weapons in the bag of holding? I don't know.
The bag, if it's pierced from the inside or the outside, it will rupture and break and fall in on itself. A sword is sheathed, so it's fine. You can just shove it in there. But if you find a spear on the ground and you toss it in the bag, the pointy end will rupture from the inside. If you have the spear at home and you build a protective casing for the head and you tie it on, then you could put it in the bag. But then when you take it out, you'd have to like take off that protective casing. So nothing that could break it open. No giant needles. No unsheathed pointy weapons.
Could you theoretically, if you had like a mechanical like sheath with a little timer in it, could you give somebody, oh, put this sheathed sword in your bag, and then they put it in, and then after like 20 seconds it goes off and it just blows their bag of holding?
It's genius.
If you could create a mechanical timed trap that would eject the blade from the sheath, after
It wouldn't have to be the whole thing. It'd just be like a
time-
little like razor at the end. You would just like wind up something, and then give it to somebody, and then at the end it would just.
What if?
Yeah.
What if you permanent illusion a sheath on a sword and then somebody
True.
puts it in a bag? Because technically, if no one's observing the sword, is the illusionary sheath still there?
Oh.
Well, whether they see it there or not, like if there was an illusionary sheath around your sword and you go to grab it by the sheath, you will cut your hands on the blade.
Would you though?
Yeah, because it's an illusion. It's not real.
But if it was illusionary on fire, you'd burn your hand.
You would not burn your hand. You would think you were burning your hand.
Yeah.
You would
take
suffer. You would suffer mental damage in the effect of like actual HP loss until such time that the illusion was over, and then you would realize that you weren't actually on fire. And you
Don't
were fine.
ask any more questions, Nick, or he's going to take
Yeah.
it away. He's done that many times with me.
Yeah, true.
These are the kind of decisions you want to force him to make in the moment.
Yeah. I've been there.
Leo, stop it. Sorry.
So let's talk about the spear.
Yes.
You've been. How have you been trying to figure out how to go about this? Right, there's got to be some sort of like meditation or thinking process.
I think Anton will meditate, and I don't think that you just ask your god and be like, hey, if I give you this, will you give me this? So I think he's going to meditate on it, and he's going to think about it for a long time, and no matter what, I think he's going to do it, he's going to try for it, so we can just get to that if you want. He got approval from his party members, so yeah.
So you can see that there are two avenues that might work out for you, and maybe they should be joined as one for a better chance of success. The first avenue is some sort of grand ritual, some sort of like big ceremony that would need to be done related to everything that's happening. So this is about the war, this is about killing Scoria, it's about you're working with the goddess of vengeance, and after much meditation, you realize that if you were to hold some sort of like large ritual in the place that caused that the spawn of the chain of events that led us to this position, that might be an appropriate method to make this sacrifice. And the war started not over here in Drekis, not over in Mystria, but it started way over here in Eridon. That's where the first conflicts between Mystria and Drekis arose. Either in Thornwood or in Shirebrook. Arguably, either of those places are where the first battles that led to this war occurred. So if you
Let's go back to Shirebrook, dude.
So if you perform a ritual that takes like 10,000 GP worth of materials and things to burn, and like 10,000 GP ceremony that you would set up with 10 helpers to help you perform it, that would be an appropriate situation where you could ask for this exchange. The other avenue towards this exchange is by creating a lifelong call to vengeance in somebody of great potential power. If you can find someone who you understand one day will be a great person, and if you can give them some sort of lifelong call to vengeance that will drive them for the rest of their lives, that's also a great sacrifice. And if you can bring the two of them together, it's even better.
Wait,
Can you give me like an example out of game? Like, what would you mean by that?
Let's see. You know that George W. Bush is going to be elected president somehow, or you know that he's going to end up in an influential position of power, even though he's only like a 16-year-old boy at this time.
This is kind of a scary example, but okay.
Yeah. And so you find a way to make him, you find a way to cause Saddam Hussein to kill his own father, George H.W. Bush, creating a lifelong hatred in George W. Bush's heart for Saddam Hussein. that will, cause effects in the future.
Okay.
You like that one,
think on
didn't you,
that.
Nick?
I like that one. Yeah, it's good. It's true. It's a good example.
Dude, did
Yeah.
you? I'm
You got
sorry,
what?
this is so mad. Did you see the fucking best misspeak of all time? Oh
Yeah,
my
so
God.
funny.
Very fun.
He even laughed about it. He was like, and Iraq, yeah. or Iraq, too.
75 years old.
man.
What are you gonna do?
Jesus, but yeah. Okay.
I have a bunch of followers, correct?
You do.
How many of them do I think I can convince to self-immolate themselves in the name of Elthara?
Jesus Christ.
If you're lucky, you might be able to get one. No one is
way.
ready to do it for them,
These
like
people
right
were
now.
fanatics.
Self-immolation's a tough thing, though.
If they're truly
that's-
down with it, Anton can. So
Yeah, but how's that vengeance? You can't get any vengeance when you're dead.
more about it's a sacrifice. Okay.
And does this self-immolation, for which approach is this?
I'm sure they've done some bad stuff to people. Yeah.
Wait. Well,
Probably
how's this
Yeah,
fun
how does
idea,
this
right?
create- Create lifelong
it would
vengeance.
just be an addition. I'm not sure.
Okay,
how
this
to do
is
lifelong
the
vengeance.
cherry on top.
This is just like a
Gotcha.
cherry on top. Yeah.
Got
What
it,
if you
In the ritual.
find 10 people, right, in the dungeons for murder,
Yeah.
and then you get their closest family member to the person they murdered, and then you get those 20 people, so the 10 murderers and then the 10 family members, and then during the ritual they like cut their throats at the end and get vengeance on all of the murderers.
If we're cool doing like a time skip with this, obviously I'll do it, but I don't want to like take up an hour or two of in-game time doing
Yeah.
it.
That's what I was saying. If they're already in the dungeons, it might be quite
If they're already
easy.
in the dungeons and we can find people who'd be willing to do it, and Anton can spend a few months on this, I'll do it. In Shirebrook, I'll move the people there. He's going to sacrifice his 20 plus 2 spears, and
Maybe they
give me a
kill
little
them
bit
with
to
the
think
spears.
on someone. Yeah. Kill them with the spears, and then we'll sacrifice the spears.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd probably be what I would go with.
Okay. We're gonna flip around for a few things and let you think about all of these ceremonies that you might want to do while we discuss the research into the Scroll of Fire Protection. And I believe it is Imric who is researching that.
Probably with the help of Oxumba, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, if memory serves, and it should because I've looked this up a whole bunch recently, it takes
Just
2
say
weeks
magical
per
fire.
spell level to learn the spell that you would need to make this. And it's a 6th level spell, so I think it will take you 12 weeks of research, if I'm...
Right, so I'm learning what's the spell I'm learning again?
Research... Normal research rules for a 6th level spell are... The spell you're learning, right? That's an important thing.
Yeah, because I'm actually going to have this spell at the end of this, so...
Is there an appropriate 6th level spell, or are we just going to sort of make up a specific, this is only workable with this enchantment?
I don't think there is a great 6th level spell. Because if you're saying it has to be 6th level, which maybe it does, I don't... there's a table somewhere in the DMG, or in a book somewhere, where some protection scrolls have spells that are 5th or 4th level, but I can't even remember where that is now.
Yes,
But
but
I've-
that same book says to figure out the scroll's effective spell level, divide the experience point value of the scroll
Yes.
by 500,
Yeah.
then add 2. That comes out to 6.
Okay.
So it is a
I don't think there is a great 6th level spell. So I think
There's
we just say
not.
the spell is just what the scroll does.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I think this spell is going to be specific to making scrolls and does not have a use outside of that. Because there is
okay.
no fire-related 6th level spell. So unless we
couldn't
want to
I
come up
make-
with a brand new one.
Well, I could research a 6th level spell that's vaguely to do with blocking fire that could then be used to make the scroll, right?
Yeah. So if we want to come up with an actual spell, we can do that. I just don't know if that is something that's actually fascinating and fun for us, since it would be used specifically for this and then probably not used in the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think what it would do, but the 30-foot radius, you just cast it on someone at 30-foot radius, it lasts 1 turn per level. And it's protection from all fire. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's literally just the anti-magic shell spell, but that seems weird because that's the protection from magic scroll that you need.
I'm up for that. I mean, I'd learn that spell, so.
I think it should be something else. So we're not going to worry about what the spell is. We're going to worry about the research process for now.
Okay.
And it will take you 12 weeks, I believe. 2 weeks per spell level, yes. And it will also cost you 10 to 1,000 GP per spell level, so probably around 6,000 GP. And then the chance of success will be 10% plus 1% per point of relevant attribute, so your int, plus 1% per your experience level, minus twice the spell level. So 10 plus what's your int?
25%.
Yeah.
14.
Your int is 14, so that's 24 plus your experience level is 12.
13.
13
27.
minus 6 times 2, yeah, brings us down to 25. That's not great. However, each additional week that you spend working on this spell gives you another 10% bonus. So if you spend another 4 weeks, and instead of 25%, it goes all the way up to 65%.
Can we not add both mine and Oxombar's intelligence, maybe? Since there's two of us working on it.
Nope, there's one person taking
We're
lead
gonna
and
be
there's
here
one
for
assistant.
Months doing it anyways.
Okay,
It'll be
sure.
Take your time.
months.
Yeah.
If I just get two 8th graders together, they can do Calc 3 with their combined math knowledge. Yes.
That's how it works, baby.
Hey, 2 scientists trying to work something out, though. Have a higher chance than 1 scientist trying to work it out. I'm not arguing for a rule change.
Yeah, too. Or it's
That's
like
fine.
programmers.
I'm just
Just throw a bunch of them in a
We
room,
might-
all working on the same project, and they get it done 10 times faster.
Yeah.
We might be able to do some sort of time reduction by a wee
Okay.
bit for having an appropriate assistant, but
Yeah. Okay.
Neal,
and then the
quick question?
potion.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. What's your question?
I don't think Anton would just have the divine knowledge of someone who's going to be super powerful in the future, right? Like you can't just
Well, it would be someone in line for a throne, right?
Yeah,
either
we.
that, or he could like.
Oh, the big plot twist. There's a guy that's supposed to be the leader of Mystria after the war.
Oh, you? What I was gonna say is, would it be all possible for, I guess, Velthara to tell? This would be the plan. Velthara tells Anton someone in somewhere inside Drekis who has the potential of being truly great, but their potential will never be found because they're gonna stay at home and work on the farm for the rest of their life. So then Anton would go over there. He would kill the parents, and he would say, "Seek me out when you're strong enough. I'm gonna be in Solemn." And then the rest of their life could be like getting strong enough to go and seek the guy out who killed his parents in order to, kind of claim the one bandana. If you watched Afro,
And that's how Anton dies.
and that's how Anton could die.
I think
He has to
that
die like that.
the general approach of that is fine, but then the difficult part of like finding the appropriate person gets hand waved, and then you just have to kill like a couple of level 0 peasants. So that doesn't seem like a sufficiently challenging experience to get yourself a really good spear. I think you have to come up with like how would you find such a
Because
person
I could
if you
kill
want
the
to go this
queen
route.
and then make the brother come after Anton permanently. That could definitely happen. There's a lot of ways that I could do it, but it gets campaign destroy, I feel like. But maybe I can think about it a little bit more.
This is Velthara, goddess of vengeance.
That's true.
She doesn't give a shit about the integrity of your
campaign,
kingdom. Yeah.
Anton will probably talk to Tyrael and see if Tyrael or Imric have any great ideas.
Okay, I've got a great idea. Ready? This raises the morale of the kingdom and gives you the opportunity to do everything. Okay, anime tournament arc. Okay, tell everybody we're gonna host a grand dueling tournament. People have tournaments. Don't look at me like that, Koibu. I saw it in
do,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones. Okay, have a tournament. Find the most guy that you've pegged to be like, oh, this guy's like, they sent their knight from whatever, kingdom.
Just fucking kill him?
Yeah, and then you enter the tournament. We'll rig the brackets. You can be the guy that fights against him, and then you just fucking lop his head off or some shit in combat. And there you go, boom, boom. And it's in a tournament. You can't get in trouble for it. It's kind of what happens. And then
The
Wait, but
Great
how does this
McGarry
create
tournament.
vengeance?
Because
How
his
does what?
family's gonna want to come after Anton. No,
Oh wait, you have to make
you
it
have
so
to
that
find
people.
someone who's
I have to make it so someone's like they want vengeance for the unjustful thing.
Oh, even if this
But
it was
also-
already going to be somebody that was going to be like successful in the future.
Yeah, someone that is positioned. Just making some random peasant number 5 or random noble number 7 full of vengeance doesn't do anything. You need to create it in someone who will be a shaper of the world, which is not a straightforward thing to understand. That might take a little adventuring, that might take spells, creative planning. Maybe it ends up with you like babysitting a person throughout their life so that they will definitely become great. I'm not sure what it would take.
Okay.
That's for you to figure out.
Can it not be someone who's already great?
No, this is about creating the next generation of vengeance. So we're looking for someone who is young and has like a long lifespan ahead of them to do things, not some 85-year-old king who only has a couple years left. We're shaping the world in the future.
Anton is someone who came from pretty much nothing. He doesn't have incredible stats. You can shape someone to be the next level of vengeance. I got an idea. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, we bring back another little Jimmy or whatever?
I'm just gonna steal a kid like Nilram would do. Anton's gonna do the same. Genius idea.
Next thing, potion of slipperiness. Now, it'll take 1d3 plus 1 week and a cost of only 100 GP per week in order to learn the things that you must do to create this potion. And Anton can do that while Imric is researching.
Wait, is this like an oil that is applied to the body? Or is this?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. We're not overlapping. We're not using any other oils, right?
Nope, we're gonna be using a scroll.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill the richest boy in Drekis's parents in the street.
Jesus. Why? Wait, you're literally
Like
making Batman.
Yeah.
The parents of the richest boy are the queen.
No, we're
Is
the
the
richest
queen.
now, guaranteed.
So you're
They
going
killed
to kill your
Seven's son.
brother's son?
Yeah, what?
You're better off doing it in Solemn, mate. There's all sorts of powerful people over there. What about
Yeah.
What about when Verassi falls? Whoever would be the next?
Solemn works really well too because theoretically if you're trying to
where
be
he's gonna
in good faith with your goddess or your deity, if you kill somebody in Drekis, you know that you have plans to fuck off to Solemn afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
wow, there's so much vengeance, but they can never, enact it. Whereas if you do it in
can't really get
Solemn,
there
you're
easily.
going to be traveling around, people will know of you. Like,
Okay.
What if you could do something so that once that person was in charge, they wanted to declare war on Drekis?
I could put a
Like-
quest spell on someone, like easily. That's young.
Like you could
But-
find the heir to the Solemn's throne or whatever, and go there and kill the guy's parents in front of him, who's going to be the king. And then when he defeats Verassi and they win, he's going to be like, right,
The
well,
question is, can I actually do that, like physically?
what do you mean? Why can't you?
I don't know if Anton's powerful enough to zoom through and go kill the king and queen of Solemn.
I would think
Yeah,
that,
okay,
well,
well.
maybe.
there's a lot we can do though. But I think the big ritual with a load
The big
of
ritual is absolutely
murdering.
good, and we're gonna do that. But I wanted to see if we could work this into.
And there's a lot of ways to instill vengeance in someone. Death is a great motivator.
There's other things
A lot
too,
of
though.
ways.
You could go fuck somebody's wife. They see you coming out of the house at the end. They'll want vengeance for
The
that.
kid sees me leave.
I don't know if the kid would care. I'm thinking more the husband.
Well, you
wait.
need someone with a long lifespan, is what Koibu
Well,
said.
they could be a young, newly married couple.
Oh,
okay?
an elf or a
Jesus.
dwarf, maybe?
Oh, you could, someone who will have great power, you could steal their wife and feed her to a dragon, or steal their husband and imprison them far, far away, so they're on a lifelong quest to get them back. You could imprison them in time, so their significant other is forever trapped until they can break the curse on you.
You could go. This is we're getting very dark. You could go to one of the small towns we have in like the river, or is it the
Riverlands?
The Riverlands? Yeah, you could do the prima nocta thing. That would be lots of vengeance
just
if you.
Shag all the halflings' wives.
And you don't know which halfling is going to be the
Yeah,
one that
you
goes
have
great
no
power, so
idea.
you got to do
Yeah.
them all. You got to terrorize the entire country.
And keep in mind, these guys are coming up now in the shadow of the McGarry Keep, so there's going to be great people coming
They
out of
gotta
these
be-
lands. you
They're
know?
going to be watching it. Hey, boy, see that keep over them hills? That's where the guy who fucked your mother lives.
It might actually be your father. You're kind of tall for a halfling.
Okay.
Okay,
so,
so that's 3 episodes of the
Mr.
raid
Mouton.
campaign, yeah.
Yeah.
1d3 plus 1 weeks and an equal amount of gold, or hundreds of gold, in order to learn the processes for a potion of slipperiness. You have the appropriate temples, books, libraries, everything that you would need. So why don't you make the first roll of the session and roll us a 1d3 plus 1? 2 weeks.
Because I'm a genius.
Nice job. Very big brain.
Please shell out 200 gold pieces for the research process.
We've barely just opened the first couple of books.
How
You're
much
already
money
out
do
here
we
finished the
have?
research.
We're Omega rich, right? I'll take it off, Meg. 200 gold, you said? Yeah.
Yes.
That's 100 platinum, so there you go.
Where are we?
I'm gonna spend. Anton is going to go into the. Where could I? Do I feel like I'll ask Imric. Imric, do I feel like it's a good idea to run this by the Queen and see if I can borrow some people in her dungeon who are set to be killed for this? It would help with the Scoria war.
Well, if we're going to have to ritualistically kill people for vengeance, they might as well be people who've already done crimes. I mean, saves us tracking them down. They're already in the prisons. I'm not sure. I mean, people set for execution. I'm not sure how long they stay there, but
Anton will do that. He'll go to the head guard. He'll send the message up the chain. Basically, he wants 20 people. He's planning a very big thing for Velthara. Ask the Queen. I need 20 people who are on death row. They can be preferably wartime executions that we need to complete. I need 20 people, and then I will ship them with my convoy to Shire Brook. That was
maybe like captured Mistrayan soldiers, and then like
Yeah.
someone from their unit could be like, they killed Dave, before we got him. And then we could get Dave's wife. Dave's little 5-year-old son with a +2 spear just fucking gut him. But he's not strong, so he's got to stab him like 10 times.
Are these the people you're gonna like self-immolate?
No self-immolation. These are the 20 people who I'm going to have my Velthara followers kill with the spears, and then I'm going to sacrifice the spears to Velthara.
Jesus.
It'll be the blood of Mystrian soldiers who came against Drekus with the +2 spears, 20 spears.
Right.
And we
Well,
get War Widows to kill him.
The warden of the dungeons can't just hand murderers over to you, right? He feels really weird about this conversation. She, I don't know.
Excuse me. They build prisons in this motherfucker because of us, okay?
But he answers
I wanna say-
to the Queen, and so
Yeah,
he's got to get
correct.
her permission to
That's
do
who I'm
other stuff.
asking. Yeah, I'm asking him to ask the Queen.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's hard to get an audience with.
Right. So you'll hear back during your potion research about this notion that you
I make
need
it known
these
that
people.
this is needed for the fight against Scoria. I make it imperative.
Yeah, and you'll have a way to explain to the Queen what the ritual is and the importance of it for slaying Scoria. And you only really need 10 enemy soldiers and the families of 10 soldiers killed in the war. They don't have to be the actual
No.
people that these soldiers killed, right? There's no way to know that stuff, but
It's symbolic.
symbolically.
It's symbolic. I need 20 of each, so 40.
20 of each, yeah. So the Queen will tell you that, execution of prisoners doesn't look good on the state. She's not generally in favor of this sort of like extrajudicial format. If people are going to be killed by the state, that should be done in the proper way so that everybody knows that we're not a monstrous state. However, difficult times sometimes mean you have to bend or break rules, and if this is what we need to win the war, and they are enemy soldiers, then you can buy them from her, and that'll be fine. These people were originally just going to be sold off as slaves, because that's the legal method of slave acquisition in this part of the world at this time, is enemy captured soldiers They can be slaves.
Doing them
no
a
one
favor,
else, though.
then.
Yeah, so you'll have to buy these people out of the dungeons from the queen. And I think I already have a price. I think it's 100 GP a head.
We pay.
All right.
100
So-
GP, that's a lot of money. But okay.
Imagine paying 100 gold for someone who's... You're doing them a favour. They don't have to pay to cut their heads off. No, it's fine. Got to fill the coffers somehow, haven't you?
100 gold, that's like $100,000, right?
Yeah, to buy a human being?
Is that how much we bought and sold human beings for
Actually, it's,
200 years ago?
It's $10,000, I think, because gold is 100.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
100
10,000.
gold
That was a
would be
little more reasonable, I guess. Okay.
10,000. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what the conversion cost of slavery is.
Gotcha.
Although one of the
Profitable.
days the FBI will come kicking down my door for my things I've looked up.
What was the going rate for a slave?
At the height of the transatlantic slave trade back in the 1800s, the average cost would be the equivalent of $40,000 to $50,000 in today's money,
No
according to a Google
shot.
search. I'm sure it varied, and I'm sure that it's hard to convert from 1800s cash to 2022 cash, but as a ballpark, I believe it.
Can't you go on like fucking tour and like find assassins for like $5,000 to $10,000? That's what Redfall told me. Or at least when he was mad
Yeah.
at his chatters, he said that.
That's
And
not
then
for
a
us- that's not
government
for a slave,
agent
though.
shows up
I
at the
guess,
house
yeah,
to
maybe.
arrest you.
I guess killing somebody's easier than enslaving them forever, huh? Whatever.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So did you pony up the 20,000 gold?
Yeah, we can,
2,000 gold, I'm
but
sorry.
we have so much
Close.
mithril that needed to be made. I can do that. I'll take it off the party sheet right now. I just wanted to... make
I'd
it
save the
clear that we
mithril
are-
for the future.
We're omega rich, but yeah, I took it off the party sheet.
Great.
We should
That's
actually
six.
save the mithril because I don't know if it'll ever come in handy, but like we do have that magical anvil that I think allows us to forge magic weapons, and we've got a ton of mithril. Just some.
One more level up, and I can actually
Nick will
make
be
magic
able to
items.
make magic items, yeah.
Wait, what kind of like +5 magic items, or like +1 swords for us?
Technically, but with great cost and time.
Great
to myself.
cost. Ooh.
Like permanent impact, I think, on stats.
Okay. Well,
I
listen.
think I haven't read
You
the
were
rules in
able
a
to take
while, but-
permanent fucking impacts to your fucking liver with all the drinking you did, so this will be for the
Sure.
benefit of the kingdom, all right?
I'm going to be removing 10,000 gold as well for the ceremony.
Jesus Christ.
Koibu?
10,000
Reading.
gold.
That's what he said.
He's bankrupting us with his religious fanaticism.
Yes. 10,000 gold.
Don't
for the
worry,
ceremony.
we still have 42,000 gold plus 5,000.
I thought religious
mithril, not
fanatics
to-
were supposed to be tithing their followers. Make these fuckers pony up.
What
We
could,
will
what could the
eventually, okay.
10,000 gold possibly go on, though? I guess the ship to get us all over there?
It's going to require the appropriate thing. Like, you're going to need ceremonial braziers. You're going to need, like, the right type of things to burn in them. You're going to need the appropriate decorations, which are all going to be, like, finely worked. You're going to need, like, special craftsmanship, blah, 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 blah. The ship will be another 2K to get there. I guess
So it's quite cool when you think about it. The town of Wicktron Renta will be aflush with carpenters and people making money building things for this great ritual that Anton's going to do, sacrificing a bunch of Mistrean war prisoners.
And
Pretty
in
cool.
the background, the things that we won't see is that all these workers who are doing all of this in the name of Velthara will clearly be talking about their work with their friends and their families, and they'll be, the notion that Velthara has a great ceremony that is being done
Yeah.
will quickly spread through the area. This doesn't just do the ceremony; it also puts Velthara at the forefront of the people's minds here. This economic cost is a background way of spreading Velthara's influence and letting people know how important she is to the functioning of the state.
Also, Anton's making a baby during this time.
Jesus.
And Koibu, check
needs-
your DMs.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Oh no.
He's been busy, Anton. That's the one job in the kingdom that you wouldn't want, isn't it? Anton's wife.
What do you mean by that?
I just don't think he's a considerate lover.
Well, is he? Explain it to us in great detail.
Well, he's got like 5 charisma, right? He's very matter of fact.
Let's get
Yeah,
maybe she's into that. Nick.
Lady, would you like to have sex and procreate?
That's what they did back then. We need to roll for impregnation chances
Love
though,
you,
because
dude.
it's not 100%.
He's gonna get the idol. He's gonna get all the good stuff for it.
Yep. We got to roll for it. Make sure it's the right time of month. You can only try during certain times. Yeah, you could do it.
That is what he's gonna do, Koibu. Don't tell me the outcome, but that's what he'll Or you can.
Is that like a list of positions?
It's I got the.
This is my game plan. This is
No,
how I'm gonna
basically,
get her in the mood.
he messaged me earlier. He said he's going to take like a -2 to his con over a week as he edges himself constantly, and then on Sunday he's going to go. I'm so sorry. Okay, weird.
I will take negative stats if you'd like. No.
Question. Hilarious.
Roll for sack. I'll roll how good it was for her.
What are you doing during this time, Stephen?
I'm climbing walls. I'm saying what is the steepest wall that I can climb unassisted.
Okay.
You could climb Wicktron or Enter. No, the mountain, I mean, by the capital.
Unironically, what I would be doing is the only thing I care about is that our affairs are lined up post Scoria. So it would be supervising and making sure the construction of the keep is going as planned and on schedule. Mother was weird the last time we talked to her, so probably having a deeper conversation with her to make sure things are okay, and then having a conversation with either the Queen's advisors or planners to see what Mystery is going to look like afterwards, so that everything isn't a shit show. Because the post-war transition to power is going to be really important, that things aren't fucked up. Because I imagine like right after wars is going to be when the things are most tumultuous, because that's when everybody's looking to like fill vacuums and shit. And then learning how to ride dragons, because why not?
Okay. The potion of slipperiness, Anton. You're the first one to get a thing done here.
How many can I make?
Well, the most important part is the ingredients. I shouldn't have closed this book, because every potion needs a few things that go into it.
I'm just throwing out the tongue of a giant toad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, yeah. Potions that contain a single use, like the one that we're talking about here, require one rare material and one common process. Now, the common process we don't have to worry about too much. It'll be like, brewing it under this circumstances, or with this material, or, adding this thing to the ingredients. What really matters here is the rare material. And I have some lists of things that will suffice. After 2 weeks of study, I'm going to give you the first 2 materials that would work. And if you decide neither of these materials will work for you, you can spend another week in research to get another, and so forth.
Okay, so you're going to tell me what they are. I can't say I want to do the skin of a bullywog.
No. It's got to be an appropriate thing for Potion of Slipperiness, and I have decided in advance.
Understood.
The first, Shard of a Philosopher's Stone. It's a powerful magical artifact. You could basically replace any ingredient in anything with a Shard of a Philosopher's Stone to make it happen.
Nope.
But those are hard to find and almost impossible. The second thing is, I want to talk about the ingredients. They come in common, rare, and exotic, but they also come in tangible and intangible ingredients. For example, a rare ingredient might be a particular grade of silk or diamonds, or maybe rock feathers, ebony, a wizard's bones, or iron smelted by a master dwarven smith. Those are all like rare ingredients. But the intangible rare ingredients would be like tears of a heartbroken maiden, or the strength of a king, or the essence of a rose harvested on the first night of a new moon. And those are sort of abstract, and you would have to find a way to gather those. So the first ingredient other than the Philosopher's Stone that might work here is an abstract ingredient. Well, that is the agility of an elven cat. Now, I'll let you think about this for a little while, how the hell you would
chop off the elven cat's legs.
You always use the whiskers.
No, I don't know how you distill it, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe there's a way to get the agility of an elven cat inside of a potion. I'll let you figure that out while we bounce over to Tyrael and talk about those things he just mentioned while you chew. So Tyrael.
Hi.
You're talking with people about the next days of the war and the beginning of the... Yeah,
2 huge things. First thing is to make sure that everything with the keep is going well. We had a interesting setup where in the keep we guaranteed, I think it was a silver-lined room or something, for members of the family to have a somewhat permanent stake in. or like residents or whatever. Not they don't have to live there, but basically we wanted to kind of be like the unofficial like dark market capital of Drekis, with the idea being that they can do their shit, but we want to make sure there's not crazy shit going. Did you ever watch The Wire?
Oh yeah.
I want Amsterdam, in my keep. So like as long as they're not like fucking shipping bodies around or murdering people or doing sex trafficking, at least of minors, then I just want to keep an eye on things, and then it gives me access to dip into that market and everything as well, and then I guarantee them some level of safety or obscurity as long as they act proper, I guess. That was one thing, and then making sure the keep construction is going well, and then I guess chatting with mommy to make sure that she's doing okay, because she seemed a little bit sad the last time we talked to her. But
so this means you'll be traveling to the capital by yourself, leaving your brothers behind. I'm sorry, you'll be traveling to your keep, leaving your brothers behind in the capital for this mission. I want to make sure that we are aware that we're splitting the party.
I don't know if I'd call it a mission. Jeez, no, now you make it seem way more hardcore. But I imagine there's probably convoys going back and forth, because doesn't our mother travel back and forth? Am I making that up?
She does.
Yeah.
And there are materials that need to be moved out to there.
Yeah, so I would probably travel during one of those times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. On a boat, on the way to the McGarry Keep, which, despite being isolated from the rest of the kingdom, has yet to be affected by any of Scoria's troops, any of her spells, herself. It's not particularly well hidden. Still, just sort of out there. Anyway, you will come and find your mother overseeing the construction. You'll see a bunch of those guild members hanging around as well, talking with her, being leaders on jobs, being like the foreman to direct this, that, and the other thing. And she would be so pleased to see her eldest son coming to visit her. With open arms, she will greet you in the streets, stopping her conversation mid-flow to wrap her arms around you as you get off the boat. Tyrael, my eldest, what a joyous day it is to see you here. Bless Nerul for all she does for us. What is the occasion?
I will give my mother a big hug. Imagine the feeling is going to be a lot better than... When did we last see her? Was it when all of the dragons were raping and pillaging our entire kingdom? Or was it right after we figured that out?
You were here a little while ago.
We were.
You came through town after you... you teleported to the mountains from whatever it was that you were doing and stopped off in town for like a day. And she came to you in the tavern, but you guys looked super serious, so she dipped. And then you all left.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give her a hug and I'll say, Mother, how are you doing? How's everything going?
Things are going splendidly. Summer is approaching. The river water, the rose water and petal water flow with large amounts with great fluid, with great crops coming down from upstream. The halflings seem to be pleased and happy. They say the potatoes are coming in fantastically this year. To be honest, here in the Riverlands, the war seems very far away. We've not seen a soldier, not a skeleton, not a monster, not a dragon.
How is the feeling on the ground? Does it? I mean, I'll look over. Or are we at the keep? Or are we on the way there right now? I guess.
It's like right there. You can see it.
Yeah, sure. So I imagine I can see the bustling of the construction, the pillars being erect, all the construction. Is everything moving along finally in terms of progress? Any big problems? Are they getting along with the giants?
Everything seems to be moving smoothly and appropriately. The giants are getting along with the halflings. The stonemasons and the giants are working together to pull stone from the mountains just east of here. Honestly, there's not a problem in the world. I guess I don't know any better. It seems too good to be true, son.
I mean, I shrug my shoulders. I mean, we've been through a lot. I think it's okay to have small periods where things are moving along splendidly, given how stressful and crazy everything else has been recently, so...
But why? Why is it safe here? She asks you point blank.
I mean, your guess is honestly as good as mine. It could have been misdirection from Scoria. It could have been genuine fear from Scoria. It could have been lack of strategic necessity to attack this place. I don't know how important the food coming from here is, if it would have been worth it to attack or not. Perhaps Scoria is worried from traps. Believe it or not, there are free kingdoms to the north that have ways of dealing with dragons. Maybe she thought we'd installed some of those down here. Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, I will be thankful of the small blessings we get up until they are no longer.
Well, that's good. Well, anything else you need to check in on? Otherwise, I'll probably take a stroll through, see how things are going, and then...
She, walks with you as you stroll in whatever direction. Now, I know this is an uncomfortable topic, but... marriage, son. Marriage. I understand there is a young lady in mind. My niece, your cousin, which is totally fine and normal.
She assures you.
Why would she even say that, Koibu? Redact that. She wouldn't say that. We all know it's normal. I don't need her to say
It is.
it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, totally redacted.
That was some
Yeah, she would
OOC
never
out
have
of
said
character.
that.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. But there is no date for the wedding yet, and I am wondering why you are pushing back on this.
That is a bold assumption to assume that I would be the one to push back on that. I think it's just a matter of planning things out right now.
Sweetheart,
Yeah.
you've slayed dragons, you've conquered kingdoms, you've traveled to distant frozen lands. Surely, you can plan a wedding.
I'm sure we can plan a wedding, but right now we're planning the future of the kingdom. There's a lot going on, and I can only handle one nagging woman in my life right now, Mother, and I wouldn't have it any other way, so...
I would happily absolve myself of that position and hand it over to your new wife.
Well, I assure you, we will make haste with those plans. I'll be discussing the future prospects that we have in Mystria with the Queen, probably early next week, and I will bring up the idea of a date then, and I'll let her know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll bring up the idea of a date to the Queen the next time you see her. That sounds like the commitment that your wife is looking for.
Listen, she's my aunt and your sister. You have more sway over her than I do. If you really want to expedite a date, I mean, you can harass her if you want.
Splendid! That is all I wanted to hear. I will write to my sister right away, and we'll set up their wedding. You won't have to do a thing. We'll let you know when it is. You just have to show up sober.
Absolutely.
In your
Hopefully
nicest
with
clothes.
all my limbs intact, in between murdering dragons and, hunting great
Sweetie,
dark...
everyone needs a time to rest and celebrate.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Just, let us know the date, and I'll make sure that we're not on any life-threatening adventures or, completely deep in enemy territory or in some other plane of existence while you are planning that.
She stops, gives you a hug. I'm going to go right to my sister right now, and hopefully can go back on the ship with you when you head back to the capital. Toodaloo!
Sounds great.
And she hurries down the streets, leaving you.
When she
standing.
turns her back to me, she wouldn't be expecting an attack, right? That would be like...
No, she would not be.
No, okay, fine. Cool. I want to go to the capital. Or not the capital, I want to go to my place. How are the crooks doing? Is there a black market presence here yet? Actually, wait, oh my god, can I mini retcon? I definitely would have done this. If I'm coming here to manage my... Or maybe this is already happening, because I didn't really talk about this explicitly. If I'm coming here to manage my mini criminal thing, I have one follower, Vega, that's kind of been heavily involved in that. Can I bring him and have him work as the overseer, main communicator for that? Yeah. Or he doesn't have to be now, I can write to him and tell him to do it. But yeah, I want that to happen, yeah.
Yeah. Vega has come with you to the McGarry Keep in order to keep an eye on how the underworld elements are going.
Yeah.
So you can go with Vega and hanging out in the tavern, get the lay of the land, walk through the keep, take a look at that underground section, because you always got to dig out the bottom before you build anything on top of it. See how your little underground lair is going. Everything seems to be according to plan. And you will notice, or Vega will notice and point out to you, that he sees some familiar faces here in the Riverlands. Two people in particular who he knows back from the capital, back from Wicthron Orenta, who are hanging around, just keeping an eye on things. Ostensibly, they're here because they are shipping goods back from the capital, and now they're sticking around for a little while to see if anything needs to go back, working as transporters. They recognize Vega. Vega recognizes them. And he reports to you that, looks like everything is working as it should be.
Cool. That sounds good. Did we ever discuss a small tax for all the illegal goods that come through here?
We did.
What was the...
But we didn't say exactly what it was.
Okay.
But we'd said that there would be a
Good. That's good. Okay. I want to start if they're starting to move that. I want to be starting to collect income off of that, because I imagine you have a place to get into the land, guaranteed with no harassment at the port or whatever. Like, I want to be collecting some money off that. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Vega can talk with the folks, and it appears that they are, on behalf of other family members, here to make sure that the arrangements that had been spoken about are going ahead, that
Cool.
they didn't agree to this sort of thing, and now you're stabbing them in the back by not building the thing that you promised.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Great. Well, why don't we leave you over in the keep for a little while, and we'll check
Question?
back in with Anton. Yeah.
Anton is going to continue his research. However, his idea is that he's going to... Tell me if you think this would work. What makes a cat agile, in my opinion, is the vertebrae. So would he be able to take either the spinal fluid out of an elven cat, or would he be able to just use a piece of like one of the discs of the vertebrae or something like that in each potion making?
You want to use the vertebrae as the ingredient. And the vertebrae is the agility.
Of an elven cat.
Just quickly review the descriptions. Intangible materials include tears of a heartbroken maiden, the strength of a king, essence of a rose, harvested on the first night, and we're saying the agility of an elven cat.
Correct. Cat's vertebrae, the spools on a string-like bones in the back, are very flexibly connected and have especially elastic cushions between them. The limber spines allow cats to perform their elegant and gracefully acrobatic feats, but it also contributes to their speed as runner.
Yeah. You want to kill an elven cat and take its spinal cord to make your potion of slipperiness?
I'm gonna do it this way. Would it be one whole spinal cord for one potion, or can we have like each each disc? Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's 30 vertebrae in like the spine.
Yeah, I think that you would. You'll need to get your hands on an elven cat to test it, but in theory, this will work.
He's gonna continue his research, but he's going to send out a 6th level spell, Aerial Servant. Now, Imric, his brother, told him how much that he needs the whiskers. Aerial Servant summons an aerial servant to find and bring back an object or creature described to it by the priest. I have seen elven cats. I know where they're gonna be if we look in the woods of near Lothram. Somewhere up there. I cast protection from evil, and I'm going to summon an aerial servant and tell him to go and find me an elven cat. Describe the elven cat to a T, tell them which direction to go, and it lasts 6 days per level. Or sorry, it lasts 1 day per level. And I'm 12th level.
Okay, object must be...
Bad day to be a cat.
Also, I don't know if we already discussed this. I'm assuming you must have, and I missed it. But like that oil of slipperiness or whatever, that can be applied to like armor, right? It's not just skin. There's not a weird thing where it's like it doesn't work with armor and the person wearing it, or
that would be wacky.
It would be wacky, but just making sure because Tui has a lot of weird. Like,
I'll check it if you want, Neal, while you look up what you were looking
Please,
up.
thank you.
Yeah.
That would be a bad thing to discover at the time.
That would be bad. I'd be mad.
It's applied externally. The application makes it impossible for the individual to be grabbed, grasped, or hugged by any opponent or constricted by snakes or tentacles.
Okay.
Doesn't say anything about. Yeah,
that applies to all your gear.
Sounds good.
So he'll wake up every day that he's going to keep researching for a week and send one of these out to find an elven cat. So he can send 7 of them, probably. Okay. Unless you want to say it locks a spell slot.
No. Once cast, it just does its thing in the background. So.
Okay.
It's poured on the floor.
Happy with the elven cat. Great.
I'm happy with it, but he's going to keep researching in case these can't bring one back, because I don't know how rare they are, etc.
Right, they're going to be hard to find. It lasts for 12 days.
He sends 7 out.
And you are in, so it's got to travel from here all the way up to Lothrin.
I'll probably
how are
be
you-
in the I'll probably be in the McGarry Keep.
Okay, you'll cast it from the McGarry Keep.
If you need, like, if I thought it would be such a big deal, I can cast it from the top of the mountain and just be researching up there. But
I mean, it's an air elemental, so it can clear the mountains pretty easily.
okay. Can they make that distance? Easily, right?
Pounds. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. And it's an invisible spirit. So you just say, go get me an elven cat. And it'll go. And you also need to have protection from evil cast on
I cast
you
every
when
single
you do
morning.
this.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Perfect.
So I don't get fucked up by it. Okay, I do that. I continue my research, and I want to make a check to have a baby. I want to have a baby.
You can't have a baby until you get married.
Says who? God?
Says
I wanna start
the
procreating.
woman. She is not procreating with
Jesus.
you until she is married. She wants a ring on the finger, Mr. Mouton.
I
Damn.
already gave her a ring.
Are you married? Did you go through a ceremony?
Oh my god.
Okay, let's get. I'll talk to mom. Mom, we need to get the ceremony underway, and we need to get that going. I have special plans. Can you make this your #1 priority, please?
Damn. Trying to have a shotgun wedding over here. Disgusting, Anton.
It's gonna be in his brandly new built chapel that they worked on first and foremost.
That's true. The chapel was the first thing that they were working on. Let's
They
see.
should be excited to have this wedding. It shouldn't. There should be no delays.
Oh, they're thrilled to have the wedding. They've just been
Anton's
sort of waiting
stocks
on
are
you.
up.
Yeah. To the moon, buddy. Yes. If you are ready to have a ceremony, you can get married this very week. You just need to get your brothers here from the capital. You're gonna have to interrupt Imric's study, which will set it back potentially days or weeks, or unless you just don't want him to be there for the wedding.
I'll tell Imric to give me, if he wants to come, he can, or he can give me a stone with a permanent illusion of Imric on it, and I'll just put it somewhere.
Jesus.
Come on. I'll preload it with like 20 jokes that it says when people come and talk to him. Just make them quite bad so that nobody comes back for a second joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. The character may take breaks from his research to attend to other matters, but if the break is longer than a day, he suffers a setback of some kind and loses 1 week's worth of research. For example,
he'll
if
be
the wizard
fine.
finishes 4 weeks of research and then finds that he must travel out of town for the next 3 days, he must repeat 1 week of his studies. If the break turns out to be longer than the time you've already invested, you got to start from scratch. So yeah, you could lose a week to be there in person. Is it worth it, Nick?
Yeah, I suppose I'll go.
Okay.
Need to see what I'm getting myself in for if I want to go through with this. Did anyone ever watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch back in the day?
Yeah, with the cat.
Well, yeah, but there was an episode where she makes like a duplicate of herself and sends it to a party she doesn't want to go to, and she has to preload it with voice lines. Do you remember?
Oh, I have not seen. I don't remember.
No.
Dude, you know how we don't really have good explanations of magic? There should be radiation involved every time you cast a spell. I think depending on how many spells they've casted, they should have to roll for infertility. Did a lot of magic, a lot of weird shit going on, you know? I'm just saying. I don't know if all those swimmers are as mobile as they should be right now.
You have already encountered this. In Glacia, there were those zones of magical sickness that affected spellcasters much worse than others. There, you have walked across and felt the effects of improperly cast or improperly controlled magic that seemed to have been sort of centered in the Glacia area. Horrible effects of magic done improperly.
True.
It really was. Yeah, I can just teleport to the wedding.
Yep.
Oh,
Who's the-
yeah,
who-
just teleport there and back.
I'm wondering, okay, who's best man at each of your weddings? So you both each other's best man. You fuckers.
Anton would
point.
have to choose Tyrael. Yeah, he's a simp.
But who's going to give a better speech, though, you know?
Wait, hold on. Do people do this in real life? If you have 2 siblings, would you make one of them your best man? It seems like you choose a best friend to avoid the drama.
Yeah, well, you got to have
I
a friend
picked
to do
a
that.
friend instead of a...
Yeah, why would you choose this? That sounds like a nightmare
Yeah,
circumstance.
if you have two brothers, you might choose a friend to avoid the drama.
Yeah, they would, and they'd just be part of the, not the
Or you
bridal
have-
shower or the whatever. The
Who
one
are Anton's
brother
friends, though?
officiate and the other be the best man.
Anton has no friend.
Yeah.
that sounds like a Then you just have two. What's the bridal party for the groom called? The groom party?
The groomsman?
Groomsman? You would want to be a groomsman, wouldn't you, Nick? Yeah, that could be us.
I don't want to be Anton's groomsman.
Oh, Clartis
If I'm
could
not
be the best man.
Yeah, great. Claire's the best man. That's great. Who else
So
could
who's
it
gonna be
be?
Anton?
He would pick Tyrell, yeah. He would ask Tyrell to be his best man.
That's so mean.
But it's okay, Tyrell. You can make me your best man.
All right, yeah, we'll just go.
You brought it. You might be a better best man than Imric, but Imric's definitely a better best man than Anton. Absolutely.
I just want to procreate Tyrell.
Procreate me?
deal.
What? Or procreate comma
No,
Tyrell?
he's talking to
Jesus.
you. Yeah, comma
I know. Okay, yeah.
Okay. I
You okay
shell
with this,
out.
Emmerich?
Imric's made up with that.
I tell my mom to shell out 5,000 gold for this
Jesus.
grand wedding.
Are you making mom pay?
Excellent.
Yes, the family paid.
Wait, who's supposed to be presenting who with the dowry here? Aren't we the bigger catches?
You will be getting a dowry, yes. Yes.
How much?
You will be getting... Well, actually, the dowry was them building the fortress for
No,
you, right?
we
That was-
paid for the fortress.
No, but
Everyone
there
should
was
be
an
getting a dowry,
agreement
though.
that you had to marry this woman in order to get this to happen, right?
Correct.
That's
but
how we
not
got the
dowry.
higher... That's their gift to you, is the speeded up construction time on the keep.
We made the speeded up construction time.
They're
all
speeding
us.
up the construction time by you wedding
It was
her,
our
so they're dropping all their
giants.
other projects, and
There
there's a
were
lot
when we
going
went
on
through
here.
when we went through the building stuff, there were like 20 different conditions to increase the
yeah,
building
that's
speed and
what-
decrease the cost. Yeah. Giants were one of them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so 5,000 gold. Take it off the party sheet. And Anton, you can get married. Your wedding.
Wait, did my elementals bring anything back? Yeah, they did.
There's some quick elemental rolls over here. It gets to make an attack roll against the elven cat if it sees it.
I believe so, yeah. You need to find out their. Well, we need to find out their stats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'll definitely do it. Okay, not a problem. At some point in time, Anton, you'll be at the keep. In fact, this is what it is. You're at the keep. The wedding decorations are getting made. Your bride-to-be is getting fitted for a dress. You're in the Temple of Velthara here, the Temple of Vengeance, where your wedding will occur. An ominous place to get married, if you ask me, but hey, who am I to judge? Flowers are being arranged, curtains are being draped, when all of a sudden, there's a screeching and a howling, and in through the church doors comes an elven cat being like carried by an invisible servant. So it's just sort of suspended in the air, its skin pulled taut, yowling and howling,
I
and
cast-
freaking the fuck out.
Jesus.
Hold animal, because he's been waiting for this.
I was hoping to fuck you by having an elven cat appear when you're not ready, but you've got the right spells.
Yeah, he'd be ready. Yeah.
Right, cat elven gets a saving throw.
Does. Let me see. If only one of the subjects is the spell, it has a -4 on its roll. The maximum body weight of 100 pounds for non-mammals. Per animal, per caster level. Okay, he can do it then. You're good. Problem.
Okay. The cat makes a save. It only has 4 hit dice, so its saving throw is not great, and an 11 is not good enough. The elven cat will fail the saving throw and be held, and the aerial spirit will vanish, and the held cat will fall to the ground.
I give the aerial spirit a thumbs up. Good job.
Nice work, buddy.
Anton pulls out his spear out of his amulet. He is going to, with dexterity, hold the spear in his left hand and pull all of the whiskers out.
Yoink the whispers
Kill it.
out of the cat's face while it's still alive.
Can't you just kill it first? Jesus.
Okay, he kills it first, then he pulls the whiskers out. I don't know if he I didn't know the order, so he'll kill it first, then pull the whiskers out.
Or maybe he shouldn't. You know, vengeance, suffering, agony, pain.
I'm not sure that this cat deserves vengeance.
It's a cat. Don't they literally
need
hunt and torture things for fun? Like, I'm sure he's earned it.
Anton
That's true.
will
Yeah,
apologize to this cat. He apologizes profusely. He needs him in his fight against Scoria. He genuinely feels a little bad, but not super bad, but a little bit.
There's not like elves don't like revere like elven cats or some shit, right? You're not like murdering.
They might be mad, but we'll see.
Okay.
They won't know, surely. It could be any level 10 Valthara cleric doing this.
All right, this will be nice for the ceremony.
All right, you've gotten yourself some whiskers, and immediately, you've got to set about to preserve the elven cat spine and those pads and all that stuff. Like, it's got to be set up just right. So you have to abandon your current wedding decorations to go preserve the carcass of the elven cat. Excellent.
24 whiskers. Moon, Anton, where did you find these?
I used an aerial servant to summon an elven cat. I figured out the potion as well.
Oh.
I killed one.
Well, what's done is done, I suppose.
Here's your whiskers. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take them. No point wasting them at a time anyway. Nice. I had 4 castings, and I've got 28 castings.
Did he say 24?
Well, it's 24 whiskers on a cart, so...
Oh, there you go.
Is that a set number? Is that a real thing?
Well, I looked it up before, in preparation for this moment.
How many whiskers?
Nick was in on it, Koibu.
Nice.
Most cats have 12 whiskers that are arranged in 4 rows on each cheek. 12 times 2 is 24. All right.
Anton will get that prepared, I guess, before his wedding.
Nick, are you looking around for your cat to count the whiskers on it?
It's going to, yeah, but it's a dangerous endeavor.
Do whiskers regrow if they get pulled out or something?
Probably, right? It's a
Yeah,
hair.
all hairs eventually regrow.
Your whiskers regrow. Your cat should do fine.
Okay.
I've seen my cat shed
they'll grow again.
whiskers, so they must regrow. But if you
they have a
cut them
shed/regrowth
prematurely,
cycle.
they might get fucked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Elven Cat. I didn't want to do it, but blame Koibu. He told me the ingredient.
It's Neal's fault, really.
For reference, the elven cat whiskering is on the 10th of July, and Anton's wedding is on the 13th of July.
Oh.
Very nice. How many
Anton.
castings do I have of how many potions can I create with the vertebrae?
We're gonna have to do a little bit more. The process
That's
of
fine.
hasn't come yet. Before we get to the process of making the potion, we're gonna take a break. And when we come back from our break, we're gonna hear Anton's wedding vows to his wife. What's your wife's name? We'll find out the name
Alex
also on
McGarry.
the other side.
My name is Alex.
of the break. Alex? Okay. We'll get Alex. We'll get the wedding vows for Alex and Alex's wedding vows on the other side of our break.
We'll be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Hi.
I have a few spells I need to cast before my wedding.
Yeah.
First spell is going to be Consequence. What is the consequence of me bringing my wife to the Feywilds and plane shifting her there and then plane shifting us back after like a minute?
The consequence needs some sort of big plan that it involved in. So what's the big plan that the plane shift is a part of?
Not getting her killed? Or I guess, can I divine it instead of Consequence? Sorry.
Maybe. It's just called divination,
I'll put it
right?
in chat. Yeah, it's just called divination.
Please, thank you. That's a hard spell to look up.
Yep. Because all
the schools are divination, so you get 10,000 results.
I would say are me and Alex going to return unscathed if I plane shift us?
To where? I need
the
a destination. To the Feywild? The material components of the spell are a sacrificial offering, incense, and a holy symbol of the priest. So what are you sacrificing, out of curiosity?
I'll give her some platinum. It's not like in an offensive way, but that's nice. That's good.
You sacrifice platinum?
200
I think it means a blood sacrifice, like a goat or something.
Well, we have the elven cat. I'll sacrifice a goat.
Yeah, that's fine. that's fine. I just didn't know if you were going to do like a small child or something.
No.
Great. Your reading comes back strong. To the Feywild, bring ready disenchantments and charm removals for your path to luxury.
Anton will sigh. That'd be a little hard. He doesn't really want to go all that effort, you know? What happens if he gets charmed? Is he just going to stay there forever, you know? Instead, it is a weird place, yeah. He'll talk to Imric. Imric, what is the most beautiful place you've ever seen? Would it be possible that you could teleport me and my wife there?
Most beautiful place? It was a warm night, one day before this whole nightmare began. I'd been in the company of a lovely young woman for about 4 days up until that point. I'd been working on it, you know. I'd been buying her drinks, I'd been buying her dresses and that, and eventually she invited me back to her chambers. And I have to say, coming into that room, her clothes on the floor, the lighting.
Anton will shoo him off. During the wedding, he's going to talk to two people, and he's going to have these two butlers bring over a basin of holy water. And after they kiss, he wants the basin to be brought over, placed in front of them. He's going to cast Time Pool on her favorite memory of all time. He's going to show her it, and then he is going to... he doesn't tell anybody this. He's going to cast Skip Day. And before he cast that, he's going to say... This moment is so special that I only wish to share it with you for the next 24 hours. And then he'll cast it.
Wow.
And they'll disappear.
Cringe.
All persons, intelligent creatures within 10 feet of the caster are instantly transported 24 hours into the future. Creatures outside the area of effect will believe the affected creatures have disappeared. No time passes for creatures affected by Skip Day. So you and your wife just skip the day?
Yeah.
Wait, like what? Like she just got roofied? Like both of them roofied each other? What does that mean?
Like you say, I want to share this moment with you, and then all of a sudden it's one day later.
Dude, that sounds so
and no
awesome.
one will be there.
Can I get like 5 days with a significant other where I just like snap my fingers like, wow, that was a fun 5 days we just spent together. I guess. See you later, bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we just time travel, and no one else is there. You can explain it.
Yeah.
He casts Skip Day after they share the memory.
Everyone wonders where the fuck they went.
We do our kiss, and then the basin is brought out. He shows
Hold
her.
on, we can't skip to the end. I need your vows. What do you say to her? How do you tell her? What's important, Anton? What is important enough to say on this day of all days to the woman who you may not actually love, but you married for her logistical advantages, and it's now a ceremony in the Temple of Vengeance of your eternal love together?
Anton looks at her and says, you are the only person that I would ever want to spend this moment in my temple. There will never be another. It will always be you, Alex. I've known since the moment I laid eyes on you. And I can't wait to make you a McGarry. He's not very charismatic. He only has a 6 on charisma, so.
Okay, that's good. You know, her vows are more along the lines of, we've never known each other, and yet I can feel already in my bones that our marriage will be a significant one that impacts generations and families. The children that we will make together will undoubtedly secure the future for Drekis and Mystery and Solemn and all of the Arcadian Isles together. And it is with this ring that I pledge to you, Anton, my lord, my liege, my husband, that I will give you...
Anton will say, will kind of probably rudely cut her off, but unintentionally because he's 6 charisma, okay? And say, our child will be the strongest servant Velthara has ever had, and I will make sure. And he'll look out to the crowd. He wants to look directly at her father. This is important, okay? He gives him a look, and then they go back.
In the middle of her vows, you interrupt her
Yes.
to be like, our child will be the strongest cleric Velthara ever had, and you like,
Looks
I
at her
fucked
dad
her father a
in
little
the
bit.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of like a happy, hopeful moment here, and it's sort of an awkward, you're staring her father down,
He'll know what I
And
mean
she's
in a
like-
few years.
clears her throat. Yes, Velthara, goddess of vengeance, has brought us here today. And her cousin, Reluna, goddess of passion, will guide us through tonight, I'm sure.
Everybody laughs. Except
Everyone
Anton.
laughs. Yeah. All right. Your ceremony done. You show her her favorite moment. You time skip a day.
His favorite moment was a little weird, and it was only shared to her. If you're curious.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know.
His favorite moment was getting vengeance on his father.
Jesus.
And you show it to her.
And then
after you get
he
married?
shows it to her, and then they, boom, they time skip, and they vanish.
All right.
She's with a wacko.
Yeah.
Too late now.
One day in, and already she's feeling the pressure, the heat.
Time to procreate, baby.
Jesus.
It's a
Then she
productive
asks, "Can you
24
show me
hours.
something a little bit more wholesome?" And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he time pulls him talking to his rat
Picking
friend
time.
for the first like 2 fucking weeks of his life.
It's only a shame he couldn't be here as my best friend.
True.
All right, Anton. Give me a consummation check. How fertile are you
Is it
feeling
con?
today, buddy? Yeah, give me a con check.
Okay, I want
Make
my
those guys
fertility
flip.
totem.
Gotten
Alright.
from a cleric of Martha.
Yep. My mom got all the things, I would hope.
Yep.
This today was 17.
It's not that great, you know.
He's
First couple
probably gonna
times
keep
always
trying. Oh, he's
Yeah,
actually going
sure.
to divine it. I'm sorry. He will divine until it works. Is today the day that I'm going to get my wife pregnant? Divination. Is today the day that I'm going to get my wife pregnant? Divination.
And if,
it'll
if it
only
comes back negative, then
he
you
won't do her. He's just here to have a kid. The kid.
right.
Koibu.
So okay. So first night you divine is tonight the night that we're gonna have a kid, and it comes back negative. But she's already in her like, nightgown. And
I just tell
underneath
Anton would just tell her the truth. Tonight wouldn't be the night that we have a child. We're waiting for the perfect opportunity. I want it to be special.
Well,
It can only happen once.
sweetie,
only
we
one
need
sex.
to-
You only get one
We-
sex.
We need to consummate the marriage.
My love, Velthara must approve.
She can approve even if it's not productive.
You mean reproductive? I'm sorry.
I have said my piece, and Anton will turn over in the bed.
Uh-oh. Wait, can women initiate divorce in these lands, or is that a man-only thing?
Anyone can, except for nobles who can't get divorced.
Based.
Sorry, I missed. Why can't you consummate the marriage tonight?
Because he's not going to inseminate her.
He doesn't
Idiot.
want to. He's there to have.
He time pulled
Child,
for the kid,
Emmerich,
and it
you
said no
dummy.
kids, so...
Oh, so you're just waiting for the...
Yes, everything.
It's just
Anton
not the
is
right time of the
doing-
month. Okay.
Yes, everything Anton is doing is very strategic. Okay.
Yeah.
For a
No,
reason.
I get it. It's because of her cycle, though. That's the reason. Is that what we're saying?
That's what it was.
Well, I mean, even if you're on the right cycle, sometimes conception does not happen, so it's not
Yeah,
entirely
of course. Yeah.
cycle. Yeah. All right, Anton. This is getting a little weird, but your wife
When
is
do
smart.
you fuck her? Sorry.
She knows what this marriage is about, and she's trying to make it sound nice for everyone else, but she knows what's up, and she also knows that if she doesn't consummate her marriage with Anton, that there's room for fuckery going around, and she knows that Anton's a cleric of vengeance, and she thinks she knows how to get him in the sack. She thinks she knows how to bridge that divide, how to bring his defenses down, So the next night, you're getting ready for bed.
He does a divination the next night.
Yeah, it comes back negative. Totally negative. Yeah, I know. She comes into your room, wearing really like dark, long robes that cloud most of her figure. Not looking sexy at all, just looking sort of blobby and amorphous. And coming in behind her are a pair of servants with some tools. And they erect the crucifix of Velthara on the floor in your room. And then she motions to it, and you notice there are like hand and foot ties on it. And she, in her most commanding voice, tells you to lay down on the crucifix of Velthara.
Anton is going to not do that and instead probably put her on it.
One way or the other, as long as she gets what she wants.
She
will bait you with kinky religious sex.
She got it.
Yeah. That's all she needs. Now she'll wait until you're ready to conceive. The rest of it doesn't matter. She needed this one out of the way so that she could say that the marriage was consummated and that this will last for all time. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now onto something a little lighter. Nick.
Yeah.
Not the best man.
Not the best
Your
man, no.
research is coming.
No, but I am working on my speech for Tyriel's wedding, though.
Oh.
Well, wait, we don't have a date for that or anything, right?
Yeah, I know. But he said I'm going to be the best man, so I'm working on the speech. That's all.
He didn't say that yet.
He did say that, Anton. He said that, Anton. He agreed. I saw it. He gave me a look.
Gave you a look of disappointment.
You've got other things to be getting on with.
Yeah. First one is your mom.
Leave me to my research, Anton.
And storms out.
Yeah.
Can you make fake time pools? Fuck, you could. Never. We're good.
All right. So, Nick,
Yeah.
you're still researching the spell. And in the process, you are learning the materials that might be important for this scroll. Because when you make a scroll, you need a special quill, you need special ink, and you need some form of parchment or paper or papyrus or something on which to actually make the scroll. And while you haven't quite finished the spell yet, you have learned the ingredients that you're going to need for the ink in the scroll during the process.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I've got this right. One last double check. It will require an exotic ingredient for the ink. Now, Anton's potion of slipperiness required a rare ingredient. Exotic materials can only be acquired through adventure on part of the character. Silk woven from a phase spider, a faceted diamond never exposed to light, an archmage's bones, a lock of a goddess's hair, or steel smelted from a fallen star are all exotic materials. Intangible exotic materials might include the tears of a heartbroken princess, the strength of the greatest king in the world, or the essence of a rose harvested by the light of a comet that returns once every 20 years. So these are difficult things to come across.
Yeah.
The first ingredient that you learn, of course, is a shard of a philosopher's stone. Easily solve all your problems. Hard to get.
Do I need all three exotic or just one?
One. You will need one exotic ingredient. And would you roll me a 1, 2, 3, a D4 for me, please?
Can do.
You can break a princess's heart. Come on, Nick.
Absolutely, easily.
It's not just a princess, though. You did need the tears of a royal mermaid.
Wait, is that what I'm getting for ink?
That is one of the possible ingredients that would successfully help pen a scroll of protection from fire.
Anton hates mermaids. We know where they're at.
We do know where they're at.
That's a fun little.
It's mass combat against mermaids, though. All right, Neal. Well, I've got a lot of research to do. So you were saying that Anton could get more, options every week. So before I'm done, am I going to know more than one thing that can fill this slot, or will it actually extend the time of the spell research to do so?
So this is what you find right now. If you want to extend the research to look at more options, we can extend the research a little bit to look for more options. If you're unhappy with these two ingredients that I've given you.
Well, I can't get the shard of a philosopher's stone. I'm saying, am I going to... If I got the Tears of a Royal Mermaid, I can make the scroll, or do I need to get something for the parchment and the
No,
quill
the,
as well?
the parchment you can use regular stuff. The quill, I don't think is exotic. I think the quill that you would need.
We're gonna need to bring this mermaid back because we're gonna need to harvest tears a few times.
All scrolls require rare quills, and so you're going to need a for fire. A phoenix feather would be exotic. What's a rare quill that is scroll related?
Old dragon claw.
No, you need a proper. You will need the quill of a royal swan, which is something that they don't have here in Wikthon but the queen over in Eridon in Stromheim, in Stormscale Lake, they've got some royal, whatchamacallums there.
I can go and just yoink one of them, no problem.
Just grab one of those guys.
Teleport right back.
What is the punishment for taking the quill from a royal swan, Nick?
What are they
In England. In England, it's death. I don't know what it is in Eridon.
Just tell
What do you mean
Anton
it's
to do
death
it.
in England?
You're not allowed. Well, you're not allowed to kill swans. That is against the law because they all belong to the queen. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. What's Eridon going to do about it? I'm
I
going to go in there and
we're
take it.
taking
And if
them over next.
they try and stop me, they're all going to get blown up. So
Yeah, I think you getting a swan quill from over there isn't going to be a hard part, especially since that kingdom has fallen to pieces, and there's probably just some swans chilling in the lake.
Ears of a Royal Mermaid. I'm wondering if I can just go on a little bit of a mission down there myself. Maybe, I don't know, find a Royal Mermaid.
Mermaids hate us, bro.
They hate you. They don't necessarily
No.
hate me.
They hate us now after what you did.
After what I did.
You were in there just like I was, stealing their shit.
Yeah. I'll do another week, Neal, just to get an option. I would like to exhaust my options to work out which one's going to be quicker.
Great. Okay, so hold on. Let me calculate how far in time we're going.
Probably during this, Anton's gonna start doing his big sacrifice to his mommy. He'll only do it after he knows that there's a child brewing.
Yeah, didn't we? Am I crazy, or was there not a storyline with a mermaid princess that had been captured? Was that not a thing? And we were going to rescue them, but never got around to doing it.
I think it was just a mermaid. We just talked about a mermaid. I don't think it was ever the mermaid princess. I don't remember though. Wait,
It might have been.
I think we know what the mermaid princess looks like, though. Do you remember the eyes, the glasses?
Yeah.
She was, I think, maybe captured or in the fishing net of the guy in the fishing boat. and then he
Oh,
got
that
her
was
out.
it.
You could maybe scry on her because we've seen her. If that was the mermaid princess.
Because we saw her in the time pool, you're saying?
Yeah, but I don't know how long mermaids live.
I could...
Oh, and that time pool was way back in the
Way
past.
back in time. Yep.
Yeah, mermaids will have ballpark human lifespan, so that one's
Okay.
probably croaked. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going to be coming across a couple other interesting things here, and that this research that Imric is doing is going to take 12 weeks. It's going to take until the middle of September to be done. So Tyrael,
Yep.
as the leader of the party here, that's a long fucking way away. The war is still going to be happening during that time. So what are your thoughts on how to manage the safety of the kingdom and what to do with the party in case there are dragon attacks? Like, this is the warring season typically. You've beaten back the Mystrians from your land. Most of your cities lie in ruin or are damaged in some way. Do you have any concern about spending 3 months in spell research?
I mean, we're here if something happens. In terms of like the safety of the kingdom, I think that that's generally the purview of the queen, right? Like, I don't know if we're the ones that are managing that security on our own, but I mean, I imagine we would make ourselves available to the queen in some segment, and I imagine Scoria would know that we've made ourselves available to the queen in some fashion, so she's not going to do anything too crazy, knowing that 3 brothers and Shine could show up and ruin her day. Yeah, but I mean, otherwise we have... I think we spoke about doing like dragon riding proficiencies. So I mean, that's like a training thing we could do. In terms of being able to fire upon a dragon, maybe for a +2 bonus or something. I think we mentioned Shine being able to rehearse with maybe blunted arrows or something with our army so that they could practice that. I did. Yeah. Oh, at the beginning of this, I said this before and you ignored me, and it's not on stream, so for some reason I didn't record. But we, because initially we talked about this, but we decided not to because this would take months. Now that we have Shine and Balurian are both chill with us again and are best friends, I would like to put out a message to Senegal to initiate a trade if we could, or even a meeting or a trade or something would be interesting.
Okay. Shine and Balurian will reach out through whatever contacts they have to try and get a word with this Senegal person. Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. And you want to learn a dragon riding proficiency. You've already got horseback riding, right, Tyrael?
Isn't that one that we all took? I think we must because we've been riding horse all over.
We all got it,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right, so you got a gold dragon who will help you learn. You just got to make a saddle, so maybe chip out 100 gold for a saddle. It's probably an expensive thing to make for a dragon, and it'll take a couple of weeks, but we're passing a lot of time right here.
Okay. I subtracted 100 gold off my sheet, so yeah.
Great. We are in mid-July by now, and despite this being the warring season, no Mystrian troops have approached the border or made any attacks anywhere. And you've got your saddle, and you're going to practice riding Shine. Just the two of you, alone, no brothers for backup. Do you trust that Shine's going to keep her promise and not murder you?
Anton shouldn't have much to be doing right now besides getting his stuff set up, which should be servants, yeah?
Middle of July is, Anton wedding and making babies and potion making.
Yep.
So Anton's a bit busy. Are you concerned at all, Tyrael?
No. If I don't trust her to do this, then we've already essentially trusted her with our life at 2 points, right?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good. She is a trustworthy dragon. So, where do you practice? Is this just wherever
it's
you
going to be like outside
with
Withra, I imagine.
Okay. Over here above the forest and around the mountains. Okay. Why don't you make me a series of intelligence checks? First one will cover the first 2 weeks and then 1 week thereafter until you're successful, until you've learned well enough how to ride a dragon.
How many do you want?
3 until you learn. So 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. There we go. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks it takes you to learn how to ride a dragon. What's it like, Tyrael? Tell us the intricacies of dragon riding.
It's just grand. Have you ever ridden with a crazy driver in a car before?
No.
I think it's when you're riding a car on your own, or when you're riding with a aggressive driver, it's very scary to be in the passenger seat. But when you're driving very aggressively, I've heard that it's not very scary at all because you're in control of the car. It's like, oh, this is easy as fuck. So I think it's difficult flying with a dragon because. And it probably will be more difficult for Tyrael than either of his brothers because Tyrael is a man that does things of his own body and power, right? Like if he's climbing, it's because he's climbing. If it's jumping, tumbling, these are things that he's doing. He doesn't do like magical flight much or like the magically powered things. Or I guess it is horseback riding. So it takes him a little bit to trust Shine and to trust that she's going to move in an appropriate way to do things not powered by his own body. So it takes him a while to do it, but yeah.
How do you set up your dragon riding signals between you and Shine? You don't really have precedent for this. So is it like You do the same thing with the horse. You've got like a bit and a bridle that goes through her mouth, so you pull her head left and right, or is it like you're steering with your legs and the pressure, or are you just like yelling directions to her? How do you direct?
Well, since this is a dragon and not a horse, I imagine we would have to have a respectful conversation first. Like with a horse, you would have boots with spurs that you'd be kicking into their sides for initiating like heavy turns and stuff. But I imagine that Shine probably wouldn't be a big fan of stuff like that, or having like a bit to like pull her in directions. Can Shine communicate telepathically?
No, she does not have ESP. Hold on. Some gold dragons have weird innate abilities. That would make things really easy, wouldn't it?
Because voice probably isn't reasonable if we're being somewhat realistic, because we're flying through the fucking sky and it's just going to sound yeah.
She does not have telepathy at will. No.
So it's probably going to be some combination of, I know that you can ride horses without spurs in your boots. You like give them a tap, and if it's a well-trained horse, they'll respond. I mean, so it's going to be a series of like pulls on her, not mane, scales, something, whatever the fuck is coming out of her neck, and then a series of like leg movements, so either taps with feet or squeezes of thighs to move up or down or whatever. I'm sure there's some series
so
of commands
complex, like squeezes thighs, pokes with the heels, and pulls on the scales.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, halfway towards the end of August 28th, Tyrael will gain a dragon riding proficiency. Please add that to your character sheet. Non-weapon proficiencies.
Is that still like a will thing, or?
It is a wisdom willpower at +3 modifier. I'm sorry, -2 modifier.
So for base, I put -2, or do I put 2?
Yes, -2. Yeah. And then wisdom is or willpower is the stat it keys off of.
Are you sure? For horseback riding, it's just 3, not -3.
Yes, horseback riding gives you a bonus of 3 because it's easy. Dragon riding is at -2 because it's hard.
Okay, what kind of rolls are we talking here then? So this means like if I like fail a roll, do I fall off, or?
No. So the proficiency means most of the time you don't need the check. The check comes in under special circumstances.
Okay, gotcha. Like she does a barrel roll. Okay.
A proficiency character. Additional. Unlike land-based riding, a character must have this proficiency to handle a flying mount at all. In addition, you can do the following: you can leap into the saddle of the creature when it's standing on the ground and spur it to action into the air as a single action with no proficiency check. You can leap from the mount and drop 10 feet to the ground below or onto the back of another mount if you are lightly encumbered or less. And you need a proficiency check to do that. A failure means that you take normal falling damage for falling flat on your face, or you miss your target, perhaps taking a large amount of damage as a result. A character who's dropping to the ground can make an immediate melee attack as if his proficiency check is made with a -4 penalty. You can spur your mount to greater speeds on a successful check, adding 1d4 to the movement rate of the mount. The speed can be maintained for 4 consecutive rounds. Or you can guide the mount with your knees and feet, keeping both your hands free. A proficiency check is made only if the character suffers damage. If the check has failed, the character is knocked from their saddle. So you can ride without your hands with a proficiency check, but if you take damage, you fall. You can jump off one mount and land on another, or you can jump off the mount easily and quickly and make an attack in combat with proficiency checks.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, easy peasy. Great. Imric. Actually, not Imric. Anton.
Yep.
Your potion of slipperiness.
I use it during sec. Just kidding.
Never mind.
Maybe he would. You should make him roll in that. It's actually such a good oil of slipperiness that it reduces all friction and sensation on his member. So if he does it and he fails an int check, he uses it and he's not able to conceive that night because nothing happens.
Shut up. I just want my kid, bro.
They take 9 months to grow, though, unfortunately.
It's alright.
Not true. Can't Anton magically age her?
I could. Problem.
All right. The base chance of success for brewing is 70% plus 2% for your level, and minus 1% for every 100 GP the potion costs. So, what is your character level, your cleric level?
It's 12, so I'm gonna have a 94% chance.
Ooh. It's 94 minus a small amount, which I will look up right here. There's a GP cost associated.
There always is.
Problem?
No.
$400, so minus 4, so that's a 90% chance?
Sure, I want low. 1. How many can I make?
Well, that makes 1, and that
Okay.
the making takes you alchemical. It'll take you 4 days to make 1 potion.
Okay, I
So you
want to
can
make
as
it.
many as you want, or actually, you
make
can
at
make as
least-
many as you have.
Vertebrae.
It takes 2 vertebrae. It takes the space between two vertebrae
Yeah.
to do it.
So, a normal cat has 30. It said.
Yeah, so
Or 15
15
castings?
potions can be made.
Okay, I'm gonna create like 6. Well, wait, 6 times 4. That's gonna be 24 days, right?
Yep.
Okay, and during this time, I assume that a kid will be, a
Gestating?
divinational hit.
Yeah.
Assume. And then when that happens, Anton is going to spend his 10,000 gold, which I've already taken off the party sheet, and get the thing set up. The queen's gonna move the people to Shirebrook. This has to be like perfect, and he needs his wife there. So he's going to have to convince her to come along, which should be pretty easy. The way that it's going to go down in his mind is there are 20 spears. There are going to be 20 Dracissian soldiers, and each Dracissian soldier is going to take a +2 spear that was wrought from Glacia, where vengeance was super potent. These are vengeance spears already. They're going to get revenge on these Mystrian spies, soldiers, kill them. He's going to take those spears with his wife's hands. He's going to put that wife's hands on the spears with his hands over him, and he's going to make the sacrifice. He's not sacrificing his wife's hand. He's just having her involved in the process for the reasons that you understand and know.
Right. For the reasons I understand and know, but haven't been made public yet.
Correct.
Great. Would you make me 5 more checks? 5 more D100s?
1,
because each potion needs a check. Yeah.
3, 4.
Fantastic. You get all 6 potions. No problem. So the potions will be done on the 7th of August.
I might make more of these in the future, but
And then after the 7th of August is when you will head over to Shirebrook to do the ceremony,
Yes,
which
what's
it sounds like
is there
you'll be going
a-
to alone, because Imric will still be doing his research and Tyrell's still involved in dragon writing right now.
Yeah.
can't they just move the dragon riding over there? But Tyrell probably wouldn't want to be there. That's fine. Is there like a Velthara's Day or anything that's like near here that I can sync it up with?
The Velthara has a holiday dedicated to her. Which is May 15th, unfortunately. It is already come and gone. So no holiday this time of year for her.
How far come and gone is that?
Well, it's August, and the holiday's in May, so
That's fine. That's
it's pretty far.
Okay.
You know.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
This will be a new holiday to Velthara. It's probably called Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day in mid-August. Excellent. Right around the time of Jubilee, one of the high holidays. Anyway, neither here nor there. Imric, let's just touch on your
Yes.
host speaking before we go, or your scroll making before we go for another break. You wanted to learn another thing that you could do, so give me a D3.
I will give you a D3. It's a 2 this time.
The first thing that you might have needed were the tears of a royal mermaid. The second thing, in addition to the Philosopher's Stone, that might work for this would be Ichor from a sentient aloe vera plant.
Sentient aloe vera plant.
What a weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this reminds me of
The
there's a
elves might be
movie
able to
where you
help
have to
you
do
with that.
random things to make wacky stuff happen. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Sorry.
The elves might be able to help you with that. Nick?
Maybe. Just wondering if I could like create one. Okay. I'll ask Shine, I think, about these ingredients. She's traveled the world. She's been around for centuries. She may know a royal mermaid, or might know if such a plant exists.
Yeah, you can find Shine one time after Tyrell's done riding her.
Excuse me?
You heard him.
He's riding her. He's learning how to ride dragons. Yeah.
Okay.
You're chatting with Shine one evening after all of this. And how do you bring up this question? What do you say to her?
I know you've been riding all day and you're tired, but I'm sorry. I'm in a funny mood.
Tyrell will be walking bow-legged for a week.
Stop it! Don't encourage me. I'm coming up towards the end of my research for the scroll to protect against Scoria's fire, and we need to be working on finding these rare ingredients.
Okay.
I'm talking to Shine, not you.
He's talking Shine, you
Oh,
dummy.
fuck you. Okay. I was just saying, okay, I'm just listening along, okay.
She's listening. He's listening in.
Yeah,
Passed out in the corner, smoking a cigarette.
of course.
Two things come to mind, but both seem difficult to find. The tears of a royal mermaid. We've run some mermaids before, but I don't know if you happen to know one that could be bargained with. And secondly, this is strange, but a sentient aloe vera plant. Not something I've heard of, but does this exist? Have you seen this before? Do you know of it?
There are many a normal plant that have sentient variants in the Feywild. I've never met a sentient aloe vera plant, but I could only presume that is where they would be found. Most likely, property's not the right word, but in the presence of nymphs in their natural setting.
I would to ask the elves about this. I assume they wouldn't be happy with me taking one of these plants, harvesting it.
I think they might consider it murder
Yeah,
if the plant is sentient.
exactly. So we've got to find this ourselves. They're the only ones who know where it is. I think Anton maybe has some spells for tracking down specific plants and animals. Maybe you have the same spell?
She shakes her head. Creatures, yes. Plants, no.
You only
I'll have
need
to
a
ask
sticker.
Anton.
Do you have to actually kill it?
Well, I assume that means like cutting a leaf off.
But it's hurting it.
I mean, is it? 'Cause
do you
you're
have
cutting
that
a
spell,
hair off
Anton?
already?
You need locate plant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it.
So if we just went to the Feywild, we might find it.
If you want to go... You know what, Nick? Let's do it.
We can find a
Piss
nymph.
the elves off. Fuck them.
Well, we don't tell them, right? We plane shift to it.
Can we find like what do we? Can we find like a thing at the end of its natural lifespan or something?
Well, if we ask, the thing is, if we ask the elves and they say no, then they're going to be looking out for it. If we just go and do it without telling them,
True. What's the
Then-
old
then
saying?
we
It's
can
better to
claim
ask for
ignorance.
forgiveness than permission.
Forgiveness them for
exactly, yeah. Oh, I had no idea that you thought this was murder.
You needed that?
Yeah, you wanted that. I'm sorry, we didn't.
This is a cat.
Well, if I'm going to do this, I'll need Anton to shine. Thanks for your counsel.
you
I'll
tell
go and
anybody about
seek my brothers.
About the mermaid?
Yeah, but I'll tell you both now. I guess I'll catch up with you later that day. Coming to the end of the scroll research, I know what we need. Either the tears of a royal mermaid, or we need to harvest a sentient aloe vera plant. I've spoke to Shine. Maybe they exist in the Feywild, but I'd have no idea how to find one once we were there. Maybe in the lair of a nymph.
Why don't we just go get the Tears of a Mermaid? We know where they are.
Do we though?
We know where mermaids are.
You met mermaids at that temple that you desecrated.
We go get a mermaid. We ask them where the princess is. If they don't tell us, we
have ways of making them talk.
I have ways of even spell casting to find it.
I mean, we could do that. I'd say that's
easier
a bigger.
Than going to the Fey Wilds, I think, because we have no idea how to even walk the Fey Wilds.
Well, yeah, that's true, but we've got no idea where the Royal Mermaid would be, and
also,
we're gonna have to kill a whole country of mermaids to get to this thing.
Anytime we're in the Fey Wilds, time passes really, really, really quick.
Is that true?
Really?
I ask.
The slip of time is different there. It folds in on itself in loops. You know, when that sensation of deja vu where you feel like you've had that exact experience before, it's time bending back on itself in a quick curl, so you experience the thing twice in the same instant. The Feywild has bigger, longer loops that it's hard to explain, but time can move differently there, slower or faster, or even hold still.
Emmerich, you could make the mermaid cry from laughter. That would work. We don't have to do a knot here.
Well, we could.
Maybe we send. Hear me out. Maybe our time for killing mermaids is past. Maybe we send Shine to explain the situation. A gold dragon comes. People tend to listen. Mermaids, probably even more. I look to Shine.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, Anton. What'd you say?
Shine,
I thought they love people talking to them.
Fucking dragon. Could you maybe go and get the tears for us? When a gold dragon shows up, I'm sure people listen. Bit of an odd request, but if you explain why, it would make our and their lives a whole lot easier.
I suppose I could go ask mermaids to borrow their tears? Do they cry? They live underwater. They have no need to cry. How do they even? She asks.
Only one way to find out. Sorry.
Maybe they can only cry above the water? Be awfully difficult to harvest.
Well, Emmerich, what
Anton, can you not use your spell to summon this creature?
I don't think an air elemental could go into the water.
Yeah.
I could spend another week researching. Just find an alternative.
Spend another week. I'm going to be doing my thing anyways. And then after this week, let's convene again. I'm going to be in Shirebrook.
Shine will go see if she can't get the tears of a mermaid for you.
Okay. Just don't fucking die. If you die, I'm going to be really mad.
She's not going to die.
She's not going to die. And also, so we don't slow roll you on this too much, she will fail. She rolled a 4 on her check to, get mermaid tears. But she will tell you that she had, this, takes a few weeks, that she has learned the mermaids have their, at least in this region, their home just outside Minataria in a trench or a pit out there. There's sort of like a central shaft that drops down in the shallow waters where there's bright corals everywhere. And in this like oblong trench shaft shaped thing is where the mermaid society lives.
You as our advisor, I don't want to do this, and I hope that you sincerely believe me. We could easily dispatch of them if we need, correct?
Shine, how did the negotiations go? What happened? Why didn't you succeed?
Well, I arrived and I patiently waited for them. I got a mermaid to approach me after some time, and we spoke. I asked if one of the royal mermaids would come speak with me, and understandably, they were a bit skittish. It's not every day that a dragon shows up and says, I want to speak to a royalty, but with appropriate precautions and surrounded by a great many of their seahorse riders, I spoke with one of the royal mermaids and asked for tears, and he told me that no, under no circumstances would they give us any part of themselves for any process, that they wish to have no dealings with the surface world, and that the affairs of men and kings of the upper world are not their problem. And they did not trust anyone from here to be honest about the use of their spells, components. I used a Zone of Truth spell to ensure them that I was only using their tears to make a scroll of resistance from fire, so that Scoria, the red dragon, could be slain. And they laughed. They said that any Dracissians who might die to Scoria's flames deserved it. And they cited a ransacking of their temple as evidence for their beliefs, that they wish your death, or at least your suffering at the hands of the Red Dragon.
That means we can go and raise this entire civilization without any feelings of guilt.
Perhaps we could kidnap this royal mermaid.
True,
With a
show me
teleportation.
business.
I'd nearly only get a hand on him.
Or her. It's a princess, after all.
How do we get the thing? Find them? I don't suppose you would be able to find their chambers, Shine. Tell me how to get in there.
There was a pit. Within the pit, I saw coves and caves where mermaids lived, but I also sensed a great amount of magic coming from it. I saw zones of enchantment layered there. At the top of the pit, I was able to speak telepathically to the creatures there. And there was divination enchantments placed on it as well. Small amounts of magic I could see all the way down the pit. Well, partially of the way down the pit, and then nothing. I believe somewhere in the upper quarters of the shaft in which the Mermaid Society lives, there must be some sort of anti-magic zone. How the three of you could descend into this area and still move and breathe, I do not know. I think you would suffocate.
It may be too risky.
Any spells would have been wasted. You would need to lure them out or appear beyond the zone of anti-magic.
Well, this happened during the week that Imric was still learning, correct?
Yes, so I found a
You know what
third
Imric's
option.
thing is then?
No, we are still learning spells. We are around the 7th of August. This is around the time that Anton's finished with his... Well, let's push it a few days later so Anton can be here for the conversation, but the 10th of August is when Shine comes back from Mermaids.
Yeah, but do we have the third potential ingredient?
No. You won't get
wait.
that for another month.
Wait, I thought
Alright.
each ingredient was a week.
I'm spreading it out for him because his research is 5 times as long as yours. So they come in at a slower rate.
Maybe it's worth asking the elves. Maybe we could take a leaf of an aloe vera plant without killing it.
A leaf of
If
an
they-
aloe vera plant. What is one suffering for the
Yeah.
all of Drekis?
Yeah.
Let's ask the ambassador. If they react poorly, we could plead with them not to tell their king. I shall go. I shall use my best manners and decorum.
All right. Imric and the Elven Ambassador.
Yeah, so I make sure I look presentable. And I will knock on its tree.
Mm-hmm. So you come in through the gates. You can meet with the ambassador without too much problem. Sits down across from you. You see an elven cat sitting on the branch above him inside the hut.
Ambassador, it's good to see you again. I know what you're going to say. The last time we spoke, you warned us, said that your people's assistance in the ongoing war against Scoria would be limited going forward due to your own troubles, and I absolutely respect that. But I'm at a crucial junction and find myself in search of something that only an elf could help me with. But I'm unsure as to whether this is something your people would be willing to assist with. I wish to speak to you about it, and if you find the matter insulting or uncouth, I plead ignorance and hope that you would refrain from causing further bad blood between ourselves and your monarchy.
Yes.
I'm trying to create a scroll to protect my brothers and I from the breath weapon of Scoria, from her scorching flames. But this spell that I must create, it's requires rare and strange ingredients in order to forge the scrolls. You understand this process, I'm sure. Due to their restorative nature to burns, I found that the leaves of an aloe vera plant could be useful as ink, perhaps. But for something so rare and exotic as this spell, we would need a rare and exotic version of an aloe vera plant. And I'm told that in the Feywild, perhaps there exists sentient versions of this plant. Now, I understand that the way an elf might see this, that I don't know how easy it would be to harvest the ichor from such a plant, whether that would involve destroying it and therefore constitute murder, or if perhaps this could be harvested and restored via magic in a way that wouldn't harm the plant.
The goo comes from the leaves, the ichor comes from the heart of the stem, yes.
What do you think? Do you think your people could be convinced to assist me in this matter? My alternatives are worse from a moral point of view.
I appreciate your straightforward honesty on this, understanding that what you ask is possibly difficult for us.
Of course, I would be happy to recompense yourselves or the family of the affected, if that were possible. If there is something I can do in that regard, please tell me and I'd be happy to do it, but I assume that it's not a problem solved by material wealth.
I think
we have a
something
cat.
we can do on your behalf.
Thank you.
There will be a favor we need in exchange.
Then tell me it. Or if you need to discuss this with your superiors and then tell me, then that's fine.
This is something we have talked about before. Not this specific incident, but the nature of diplomacy and ambassadors. We understand the costs of some activities.
Good. Just before we get any further, I'll need enough to at least make 3 scrolls. It means a decent amount of ichor. I'm not sure how much one could harvest from a single individual.
Our mages will know the right amount. I would need from you, from your family, I would need you to plant one of our trees in the courtyard of your keep.
A symbol of our ongoing friendship. I think this is something I could make happen.
Then we have an accord. Now, before we shake on this, as you humans are fond of doing, when I say we need you to plant our tree in your yard, this tree will be a symbol of our alliance, our friendship and working together. This tree may never be felled. This tree itself will have some, not full sentience, but it will feel. You'll have to keep your men from carving their names in it. It needs to be protected and treated appropriately. It needs to be honored.
When Scoria is dead, it will be because of both of our people's work together to make it happen. And I think the symbol of our alliance would be welcome. And of course, the proper protections can be employed.
Praise Nadinus and all she stands for.
Praise the Dinas.
I shall get you your ichor.
Did Imric say that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Anton. Before I leave, and I'm sure you're very busy. In light of what I previously mentioned, that you'd pointed out that our peoples might be working less together in the future. When it comes to battle, when it comes time to strike the final blow against Scoria, can we count on the elves for assistance on the ground? Be that in a direct or indirect way.
We would have told you to show him your battle plan and see if you...
Yeah, because I have a battle plan and it does involve the elves helping.
If
At the
you
very
are
least.
allowed to go over your battle plan with me, I would be happy to oversee it. But I did not think a man of your position had the authority to share such plans.
Well, it is my plan. But no, it's still being formulated now. But I will share it with my brothers, and then we can share it with you, assuming that they agree. But I would like to know whether I can count on you to be there and whether I should fact you in or out.
I will have to see what it is that you plan. If you ask our men to march across open fields to fight Scoria near High Meadow, there's very little chance anyone would agree to such things.
No. At the very least, we would look for an escort through the back entrance to our lair. That
is probably
your people have
doable.
spoke about.
When the day comes for the final blow, we can help you get your way in. But it must be for the final moment. We cannot have any of our backdoor plans, any of our secrets revealed needlessly.
When the day
final
comes.
blow? Absolutely.
Yes. Great. Well, this has been a productive conversation. I'll offer a hand.
They will take your hand. We shall have your ichor in 1 month's time.
And then I shall return to my studies, make sure that I'm ready. Please make arrangements with my mother with regards to the tree. She is overseeing the construction of the keep, and I will mention it to my brothers.
He hands you some paper and pen and asks you to write a letter to your mother that he can deliver with the tree so that all will be well.
Yeah, okay.
Are we going to have a discussion about this at all, or?
I'm trying to think if...
Because I think there's probably a relatively important discussion to have here.
Yeah.
But it's up to you whether or not you'd have it. You might already just ship it off and say, fuck it. It's your call.
Well, we can tell Mum not to take the letter, right? I mean...
Well, no, I mean, even
know
with
what I mean?
us, like you wouldn't...
No, I'm saying if we discuss out, if I write the letter for him and then we discuss after the fact and decide not to go through with it, we can still
yeah, sure, if you want to. Yeah.
we can still stop it. So I'll write the letter, and then I'll go back home and obviously mention this to Tyrell and Anton. And I say I've managed to. I spoke with the Elven ambassador and they agreed to provide the ichor we need to write the scrolls. They wanted something in return, to plant one of the sentient trees in the courtyard of our keep when it's built. Will need to ensure that it doesn't come to harm and that it's well protected and it's respected by the people who live there. I've given him agreement in principle. I understand that this might represent some sort of security risk. Perhaps the elves, I've heard that they can use trees to teleport.
I mean, didn't we actually teleport through a tree?
Yeah, so it depends on the tree, I suppose. Let's imagine, worst case, this is one of those trees.
Mm-hmm. But
they've also agreed to help us in the final battle against Scoria, and I think, as a symbol of alliance, you know...
I agree that there's obviously benefit to it. Are we worried about how that looks for us? Do people... Like, what are the general views of elves in the kingdom? Like, are people going to see us as like a Catholic president or something? Like, we have like an elven tree in our yard, you know, who do we answer to? The queen or some mystical creatures? You know, like... I'm just curious. That's maybe
more seen as we're probably the people who make friends with all.
Could be.
Are peaceful because of our golden dragon. Now we're in accord with the elves, but
how do
we're
people
loyal to the Dracian queen first and foremost?
Yeah, how do people feel about elves and Drakus? Koibu.
There's sort of this like haughty, greater than thou species who lives far away and doesn't ever come over here and fuck with them. But like, there's always rumors circulating around that the Dracian forest is larger than the Elven forest, and so the elves might come one day to claim the forest for themselves. Of course, this has never come to pass, and there's an Elven ambassador here, and so the relations, like, royally at the state levels are fine. But among the people, there's always like a bit of a sly eye towards the elves, or the exact opposite, like complete enrapture and wonderment, where they're like, oh my god, these magical mystical creatures are so amazing.
Okay.
So you kind of get that.
Okay, so it's not some huge thing, people. Yeah, then it's probably fine in that case. We do need to understand, I would make all of the proper assumptions, though, that the elves basically can now permanently scry into our area, can probably teleport to our area, and have some sort of presence there, which is fine. I mean, we don't have problems with them, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could always make secret preparations on the outskirts of the courtyard, should something like that ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even thinking far ahead. I'm just making sure we know what we're agreeing to, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, we have no reason to distrust, like, I don't think the elves have ever fucked with us.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, we let the letter go, and I'll pre-warn Mother. That's to be expected.
Great. It is so. And
Success. All right, so I finished researching the spell. We're making our potions of slipperiness.
Those are already made. I need to do my thing so I know how much time I...
your ceremony, yes. Why don't we take our break here? We'll come back on the other side. We'll do Anton's ceremony, and then the quiet of the front is going to break slightly after that. And we'll talk about that on the other side of our break.
Sounds good. We will be back.
Welcome back, everybody. There are a few things left on the table for today's session. We've got the potions of slipperiness. Check. They're done. They're ready to go. The scrolls of protection from fire. The Ichor has been promised, and I think you can count on that, right?
Yeah, sounded like it.
Yeah. You just need to finish the research, which is going to take a few more weeks. The spear, Anton needs to go do his ceremony.
Wait, Neal, is there a chance I fail to learn the spell and then can't make the scroll? Or is because this isn't a real spell, I can just...
Yes. The rules for spell creation say once you finish your initial research period, you can make a check. And if you fail that check, you can make it again another week later with another 10% bonus. And every week that you wait, you get another 10% bonus, and you can keep trying. However, if at any point you roll a 99 or 100 in your spell learning, then it proves unworkable and you can't try it again until you level. So there's a game to play here. Do you want to wait until you're at your maximum chance and then roll it once? Or do you want to try and get it as quickly as possible and then like have multiple rolls, which gives you a greater chance of rolling that 2% failure?
Rolled a bunch, Nick. If worst case we go to and kill the green dragon and we get a level.
I think I'll wait till it's over like 60% and then try.
It's fair.
Okay. But before we get to actually, while Anton is on his way to his ceremony, which I think you're going without your brothers, right? They're busy doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, they can't be here for this.
Yeah. Tyrael, you're the only one free at this point in time.
I'm very free.
And you've been called in by the queen.
Good. Well,
with
never
your
mind, not good.
advisors. Because something is afoot. And they want to bring you in on this. The problem is that the Mystrian troops, which have been on the other side of River Voden all winter, all spring, and all summer, minus the attacks on your coastal cities, have been massing around Old Voden. And now they have moved into the Flatwoods. Hundreds, thousands actually, of soldiers on their side of the river have entered the Flatwood over here, sort of near Bontheris. Yeah? What's up, Moon?
Why are we not sending our dragon to kill them, like, as they're fucking...
No, we would never, ever do that. Because
no, we wouldn't send her alone. Absolutely not. But, like, we might go there with her, or whatever.
No,
we could fuck them up, right?
No, we're not doing that. It's like, imagine if you're on Scoria, like, we should move troops around to bring out the brothers McGarry and their dragon, and then kill them. We would never do that. We would have a more comprehensive plan always for this.
Okay. Anyway, well, you're brought in about this concern that the soldiers have moved out of Old Voden and into the Flatwood with wagon loads of stuff, covered stuff by the wagon loads. And they want your opinion on this, or at least to bring you in, Tyrael McGarry, someone who can do all sorts of planning, plotting, spying, thieving, scouting, who has great knowledge of the enemy, who's done so many things in life.
You're asking me what I think what the covered wagons would be bringing in?
Oh, no. One of the generals speaks up. That's ridiculous. Of course not. How would you know? If you knew, there would be something suspicious about you. What I was suggesting to our highness over here was that Tyrell McGarry could perhaps give some... might be willing to volunteer for some reconnaissance to see what is happening in those woods. We had spies in Old Voden, which is how we learned of the massing of troops initially. But before they went out, the spies went quiet. They might be laying low, unable to reach us, or they might have been found out and killed. Can't know for certain.
Am I to understand that the suggestion is that you're sending... Can I be a lord yet? Are we considered a lord? We have our own keep. We're like...
You've got your own land, right?
I think
you're a lord. Yeah.
The suggestion is that you send a lord betrothed to one of the queen's daughters on a solo recon mission to find out what covered wagons are bringing into East Voden. Am I to understand that that is the suggestion right now?
One of the other generals speaks up. You see, I told you. There's no point in trying to get the Tyrell McGarry to do this. We have others that we can send on this task. Forgive me, Lord McGarry. I know you're not involved with any of this, work of running the war. You're just here to kill the dragon. We shouldn't be bothering you with these paltry details.
Is he saying that sarcastically? He's trying to get my goat? Can I do a charisma check? What's the feeling on that one?
Yeah, give me a charisma check. You think that he actually was honest, that he does think it's beneath your work and that you're not the right person for this job. But you get the impression that the other person, the one who asked you to do this, is sort of like pleased that you're saying no. Like you can see like a grin of satisfaction on his face when you refuse the invitation.
Why? Because he thinks I'm not capable of doing it? I would ask the queen, did we not lend you some magical items a while ago for these types of reconnaissance missions? Are those made available to us yet again, or are they still out wherever they may be? I'm assuming you remember
those
what
are
I'm...
never coming back.
I'm not... This is an insane request, okay? Imagine fucking Obama asking Biden if he can, like, go and do some fucking recon in fucking Afghanistan. Like, we think there's some Taliban to the east. Can you go check it out? Like, what the fuck?
But if Biden was James Bond.
We're not James Bond, okay? James Bond is a loser, okay? Because he's British.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, don't ever forget that, okay?
Imrich's British.
Sorry, anyway, I asked that question to the queen. A lot of voices in my head right now. Go ahead.
What was the question to the queen?
Some magical items were made available to your scouts.
We continue to get reports from our friends near Crownhold. They have made their way through the Wormwood and found the entrance to the lair of Scoria's keep within the Wormwood that enters into the Dragon's Peak. It has taken them much time and patience and diligence to find these things, moving past the giants and the trolls and the ogre magi that live in the Wormwood, beyond the orcs and goblins that patrol the edges. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to get messages to them. It's easier for them to send messages our way. The materials, the magic items in question are still with them. And I don't think there's time enough to get them back for this.
It's understood. Can I take a careful noting of how many people are in this room right now? Are we have like dozens of advisors, or are there like 5 to 10 people? Like
there are...
Or like 5 or less people, aside from like the Queen's Guards.
2, 3... There are 5, we'll just call them generals for now, plus Clertus, plus the Queen, plus some servants who are, bussing dishes and whatnot.
If I agreed to do this, I would like there to only be the important people in the room, and I would also like to, I don't know if I need to roll or if you want me to write something down. I would like to commit to memory everybody in this room, so that if something goes awry later on, I know there's a leak in here, but I want to be like very aware of who's in this room.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to dismiss the servants, so it's just the absolute trusted people here.
Learning more firsthand about Scoria's deployment capabilities and what their military might be hiding and how they move the things they do. Valuable information not only for the kingdom, but for the brothers McGarry as well, in terms of realizing how Scoria conducts herself and her troops. If you really have nobody else that can serve as a recon for this mission, I wouldn't mind making myself or my men available for it. I just need more information about what it is you need to be reconned and what time frame we're looking at for how you want me to do this.
The second lord who spoke up before pipes in with nonsense. Listen, we've seen you flying around on the Golden Dragon. You have many busy things to do. Simply getting behind enemy lines is a dangerous task. We have plenty of people who can do that who are expendable.
I mean, I imagine if you had plenty of people more than capable of handling this mission, I wouldn't have been summoned here in the first place, no?
The first one who spoke up goes, well, it's a dangerous one. It's practically a suicide mission. The best that we can really hope is that someone can get close enough that we can scry on them while they peer in so that we can see what it is, but while they get captured and beheaded. Or whatever they plan to do with captured spies. That's the expected outcome. I was hoping that maybe we could do it without any loss of life or without revealing that we know what they're up to. But
I do agree that would be the expected outcome for a normal spy, but I am no normal rogue, of course. Just give me the information you need and give me the time frame you need it back, and I will report back when either I or one of my men are capable of doing the investigation you seek.
well, now, as quickly as possible for when and how quickly. And the goal is to understand their intent. Is this wagons of food? Is this the planning stages of an attack? It seems weird to mass so many soldiers so near Bontheris, an easily defendable town with a river guarding it and large walls that has withstood many attacks thus far. It seems silly to launch another one there. So, what is this? Is this a decoy? Are they empty?
Okay, well,
Filled with prisoners or dead? Is it poison?
I will get the information from, I guess, the queen or a messenger where you want me to go specifically, and I will get on this.
Well, they're in the Flatwoods, the Lord says. And that's where they are. And we need it as quickly as possible. Did you need something more specific?
No, I suppose not. Give me 3 days. I'll report back. Tell you exactly what I find.
There are nods of agreement all around the table. The queen gets up, dismisses everyone else, except for you, and then when everyone else is gone, says, I was hesitant to bring you into this. It seemed... I hate throwing away lives, especially good spies, but this seems like an unnecessary risk. Why...
Feels like every time we cross paths with Scoria, we learn a new capability of hers, or a new plan, or a new strategy that she's devised. So, even though me and my brothers have been moving into more, I don't want to say managerial or secretarial positions, it's probably good that we are still sharpened in terms of wit and blade, and are able to move in the battlefield as easily as possible. So I think that this will probably be a pretty good hands-on mission for me. It should be pretty safe. I don't anticipate there being much danger, and yeah, I think it'd be a good experience to get me out of these lofty castles and the congested capital to get out in the field again. I think would be good.
Okay. Well, with that, she gives you a gentle kiss on your cheek and says, your mother has written to me. Plans are being made for your wedding.
Do you have an approximate date for that yet, or?
I do. The 13th of August is Jubilee, one of the great holidays here. I can't see why we wouldn't hold this on that day.
Jubilee. How long is that?
That is... this would be... that is 10 days from now.
Jesus.
It's pretty soon.
I mean, I don't foresee any problems, so.
Great.
Have you even met your betrothed?
Don't care. If she's anywhere
Remember
near
her
as hot as our aunt, we should be fine. Woo, yeah.
Do you know her name?
It starts with a consonant.
Okay. So.
Pretty good. I'll get you that. Okay. So, Tyrael, how are you going to do this?
I'm just gonna waltz in, figure my shit out, and get the fuck out. I'll probably ask my bro Hans if they are. I'll probably fly the dragon to Bontheris, because why not? It's good practice. I'll probably ask for the amulet of teleportation from. I think Imric is the one that's using it.
Ah, yes. I can give you that, Tyrell. I actually have something else that you could use while you're over there. I will take the ring of spell storing off my finger and hand it to him and say, you won't be able to recharge it until you give it back to me, but this should let you cast Polymorph Self, Invisibility. He can cast Teleport as well, although I'd say that might be risky for you. I'd stick to the Invisibility and the Polymorph. You can also cast Fly with it, but again, it's difficult if you're not used to it.
The Watchful Ward masks let anyone who wears them, another person see through it, right? Koibu?
Yeah, if you wanted to do like a live action replaying.
It would be more about just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
But this ring of spell storing should work for Steven to cast spells right now.
The ring of spell storing?
We talked about it before, yeah.
I think it says, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, let's just make a quick check that it's not class law.
Doesn't specifically call it out.
The wearer can employ as if he were a spellcaster of the level required to use the stored spells. Yes.
Anton is going to give Tyrael a potion of oil of slipperiness in case something crazy happens, like he needs to use it. And he's going to give him a watchful ward mask.
You need someone wearing the other side.
And they need to be able to cast the watchful ward spell.
Oh, they have to cast the spell as well? I thought that's
it's not just permanent. Yeah,
okay,
so
never mind.
There's an enchantment and then there's a spell to activate.
Doesn't give him the mask, just gives him the oil of slipperiness. If he needs it, he needs it.
Yeah, so I'll give you the amulet and the ring.
Cool.
Okay. What spells are stored on the ring?
Wait, how does this amulet work? How do I activate it? Do I have to be wearing it?
You have to be wearing it.
Can I
probably don't want it.
Yeah, do I have to sub my amulet of health for that, or can I take that off, put the other one on, and then teleport? Or
as long as you're not more than a week, because if the amulet is not worn for a week, it resets, right? So
no, it's 3 weeks if it's in the same place, isn't it?
Is it 3 weeks? Okay, so as long as if it's in your bag, it's probably fine.
But you would have to take off the amulet of health and put on the teleport one,
which would be risky. So probably better off. I mean, you can cast polymorph and invisibility, so you can just fly away if you need to.
Of course, shouldn't be a problem. Can I pocket that amulet just in case?
Yeah, take it. Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm in a cave trap somewhere, I can just cheat my way out.
You can teleport with the ring, but then again, I'm not sure how easy that is as a non-spellcaster. The things on the ring are Neal, teleport, fly, invisibility, and polymorph self.
Those are pretty good spells.
Yeah, all good ones. Did you roll that random?
No, that was a ring designed to be a ring of
transportation.
Transportation or mobility problem solving.
Well, it was teleport, polymorph, invisibility, and what?
Fly.
That's pretty good. It's a lot of good shit.
One of each.
Yeah.
And I have a 100% chance of casting any of these spells?
Yeah, I think so. The only thing that might fuck up is teleport, because you might not know the place you're teleporting to well enough.
Oh no, go right to your mom's bedroom.
Yep. And you get one casting of each, and they need to be recharged by an appropriate person.
Okay. Yeah, by me, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, Tyrael, it's on you. You're alone. You have no brothers for backup, but you do have a magic ring that gives you all sorts of fancy abilities on top of your impressive magic arsenal, on top of your impressive skill set and levels, on top of your own innate creativity. It's just you against 1,000 soldiers in the Flatwood. What could go wrong?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds easy as fuck. We've already killed 1,000 soldiers, although they were women, so...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It also has mount as well, which lets you summon a horse or something.
Wait, so it's got 5 spells on it?
Yeah, 5 spells, Just checking.
Mount. Cool.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Are we doing this now? Is that what you want to do?
yeah. Let's do it.
Giddy up! I get on Shine with the spurious
Yeah,
boots that I have, and I just fucking dig him into her side. I say, let's fucking go, bitch. Not like that, though. I gently caress her side. I hug her greatly. With her guidance, I saddle up, and then we fly off to Bontheris. After I'll talk to both
He means
brothers.
to say without consent.
Yeah, of course. I'll talk to both brothers first, I imagine, because I got the amulet. Can you cast, like, can you stone me up, brother?
Yeah, take a hit of this.
Hey, that's what I want.
No, yeah, I cast stone skin on him, that's fine.
Cast stone skin on me?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Anton will
72.
cast Sacred Guardian and Unfailing Endurance.
72 miles later, you find yourself in Bontheris.
Cool. Wait, what all do I have? I've got Sacred Guardian and...
Unfailing Endurance.
Okay, combat. Unfailing endurance. Oh, don't care. Sacred Guardian, don't care. Whatever. Okay, and Stone Skin, right?
Yeah, how long did it take him to get to Bontheris?
2 hours.
71 mile, like 7 hours, 8 mile, 8 hours.
Do you want...
7 hours. Jesus.
Evening.
You can do ultravision as well if you want to be able to see in the dark.
Yeah, I do want it.
Yeah.
Don't you have a
Cool.
ring of seeing?
It only lasts for 30 minutes, Koibu. I want my eyes to be glowing red with anger and hate.
How long does ultravision last?
15 hours?
Damn.
Whoa. Okay. Well, it is so.
Cool.
You arrive in Bontheris on Dragonback, greeted by the people of the town, seeing a dragon fly over, a golden dragon glinting in the sky. You land outside of town, Shine polymorphs into a person. The two of you walk into throngs of people coming to greet you. Oh, McGarry, my baby!
Stop. Hold on. Actually.
No?
Could we fly in low from the south? I think I'd want to be
Below the radar?
Yeah, dropped off south of Bontheris and going north. Bontheris is a huge city. They've got a big active deployment. It would be foolish of them not to have some sort of like forward scout or spy or some kind of information coming in. And me flying into the city is probably going to put them all on like high alert. So
Okay, so you do one of these things, fly in low, come in, dropping in the fields near Bontheris.
yeah,
Coming into town after walking through the fields. Similar scene, only an hour later, throngs of people coming out. Lord McGarry, here's my baby, please bless her.
can't I walk into the town with a fucking cloak on, Koibu?
I mean, if there's a dragon landing out in the field, and then people are gonna fucking know. If you want to come in surreptitiously,
I can't land inside like a 30-minute walk to Bontheris. Can I do that?
All right, fine. Yeah. You land half an hour away.
Cool. Wasting
your
time.
cloak
That's what I
up.
want to do. Yes. Or actually, how long does the invisibility on this ring last?
24 hours or until you dispel it through action.
Fuck. Can I give him something before anything goes crazy or Koibu or no?
What?
It's up to
What do you want?
I give him the bat cloak.
I don't want the back cloak.
Okay.
No.
The time's
okay.
passed. He doesn't need that.
At night,
He
you
doesn't
can
need
turn
it.
into a bat. And then I think you have like a 90% chance to not be seen.
No, that's okay. I should be fine. With everything I have somewhere, I should be good.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, cool. Landing 30 minutes to the south of Bontheris. I'm gonna invis up. I'm invisible. And then I'm gonna run to Bontheris.
Great, you get to the gates, they're shut, there's two guards outside talking with each other about how the day's going because no one goes in or out of the city without the guards noticing.
Cool. I don't need to go into the city either, so I'll go around Bontheris and then
Ooh.
walk towards
Okay.
the Flathoods.
You and Shine walk through the woods on the way towards the Flatwoods. There is
Oh.
a bridge that crosses the Vodum River.
I'll tell Shine she can leave. She doesn't need to be here for this.
Oh, cool. She pieces out then. It's
Yeah.
just you
Just
going through
me.
the woods.
That's right.
On the road to the one bridge, you will pass many outposts of guards. These are the guards that used to serve underneath your father, the guards that he was commanding. You can see ballistas over here, and as you're crossing past one of them, you'll notice like the ballistas have names carved on them. Then you'll pass 3 in a row that are named after the brothers McGarry, your
Cute.
father's detachment. This is the Tyrael ballista, this is the Imric ballista, this is the Anton ballista,
Nice.
and the next one's named after your mother. The next one's named after someone you don't recognize, and then come other members of your family.
Nice.
As you,
Is that like a half brother that we don't know about?
Oh shit. I'm probably gonna stay away from the guards. If there's like one bridge coming in and out, I'm probably gonna try to hop across the river if I can.
That's the backup
yeah.
character, Nick.
Yeah.
You would know the bridge is very heavily defended and probably trapped, and maybe
course.
it's already been torn down and it's just an illusion at this point. So, good idea.
Yeah, I'll just I'll take a stroll across the river and avoid the bridge if I can. I have a ring of water walking. I can just slip that on quickly and then take it off when I hit the other end.
If you have a ring of water walking, you can cross the river no problem and climb up the embankments on the other side. But while you approach the river, I want a perception check from you, Mr. McGarry.
I will give you such a perception check. Now, I have ultra vision. Do I get a boost to this or?
+2.
Okay, cool. That's fair. Okay, 27.
Nice. Very nice. You will see along the far side of the river, there are spies, scouts, rangers, rogues, whatever you want to call them, hanging out, spaced every few hundred feet, back maybe 100 feet or so from the river.
Our spies or their spies?
In trees. Their spies on their side of the river, and you also will see your spies on your side of the river. It looks like the river is watched, at least in this zone right around Bontheris, probably all up and down the whole length.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
But you're invisible, right?
I am indeed invisible.
Yeah.
If I cast
So
a
we're not-
spell like flying or anything, that wouldn't break invisibility, right?
Yes, it will.
Really?
Not a combat spell. I thought we rolled combat spells.
There's a narrow list of like 4 spells that don't break invisibility. But if you're going to activate your magic items, that will break your invisibility.
Okay.
The only way to balance invisibility. That's why we've got improved invis, so you can do that stuff without breaking it.
Gotcha. Can you tell me where I'm pinging? Where, like, on the map am I right now?
You tell me where on the map you want to be.
Well, you're telling me
You
I'm
landed
like,
south of Bontheris.
and then you're telling me like I crossed the river. Like, where is this river crossing at?
Well, you cross the Crack River.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. The River Vodin, it runs along here. So where do you want to make your crossing? You should be able to do it anywhere because you can climb walls, so you can climb steep embankments. And you should be able to move across as long as you don't like knock any, make the dirt wall collapse at all when you climb down. You should be fine.
Yeah, so my only worry is that if I know there are spies watching along the river on both sides, I know that people play with invisibility. There's going to be people looking for like more perceptive things like footsteps or something. So I guess like if I can spend some time, I'd like to find, what season are we in? We're in summer, right? So there's not like
Summer.
crinkly leaves on the ground. I probably just want to look for the place that seems like the best place to cross. So maybe a place with soft grass, maybe where it's a little bit more windy. There's not like a bunch of like things on the ground, like sticks that are gonna like give away my thing or whatever, and then I can roll for like.
Why don't you make me a hide in shadows check to determine the place where you have the best way of crossing?
Sure.
Yeah, you can identify very easily that there's this little U-bend right here is sort of awkwardly positioned in such a way that it would be harder to see from a distance, and also there just happens to be the right amount of like rocky outcroppings that you could probably scale the wall of the embankment here with minimal disturbance.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I'll do that.
Great. I'm just going to make some checks for you in secret, because you should never know if you fail one of these things. You should always assume you're succeeding. Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, it's great. You cross the river, move on through, and soon you are behind the scouts that are watching it. None of them have turned to face you. None of them have made calls of any kind. You are now a few hundred yards into the flatwood.
Okay. I'm going to continue walking towards what I imagine. Do I know where? Do they tell me specifically enough where the enemy encampments are, or?
They had said they'd entered the woods, and at that point they lost their ability to see what's what. There's too many trees around.
Gotcha. Then I imagine I'll just head in a direction pretty straight north or northeast. If the moon is visible, I should know generally where it is. And at some point, if they're moving a lot of troops through here, I'm absolutely going to be seeing tracks or troop movements or wagon movements or something. Like tracks on the ground, I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, you head on through the flatwoods. The first mile, you don't really see much as you wander through the woods in the late afternoon. How far are you going to go? Are you going to like walk to the edge of the woods? Are you only going to go a mile in? Give me your game
I'll
plan.
go about like a mile in, and then can I detect noise? Can I stop and listen carefully to see if I can hear coming from any direction? Maybe troop movements or something?
Absolutely, yeah. You will hear the sound of natural creatures, but you don't hear any camps, you don't hear any wagons or horses, just the birds that are endemic to this area, which tells you that there's not much going on if the birds are chirping loudly.
Sure. This might just be extra bullshit or paranoia. Can I like listen in each direction pretty carefully or make an intelligence check to know if there might be a camp that has like a sound barrier cast? So like maybe it's oddly silent in one direction or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would roll for that or if I need to. I'm just like listening in every direction to see like, oh, it's very quiet in that direction, which is kind of weird.
None of that at 1 mile in. It's
Okay.
just natural environment, no people anywhere nearby.
Okay, then I'll keep heading, I guess, straight until I hit. How long is it to get through all of the flatwoods? Let me do a roll, I guess.
15 miles?
Oh, it's 15 miles. Okay, I'll probably walk like another 3 or 4 miles in.
Yeah, so you get about 6 miles into the flatwood. You're really in the heart of it now. And still, no sign of anyone. No sign of wagons or troops or soldiers. Just sort of like eerie woods. And it's been 2 more hours if you've gone this far. So it's getting kind of late. Like the sun is all the way setting now.
Can I do another listen to see if
Please.
I hear anything?
Still, no one. There were those guards back at the edge of the river, but you haven't seen anyone for miles, for hours.
When we talked, or when we spoke about the flatwoods, they said they were moving carts into the flatwoods, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, how long does it take me to walk 5 miles in?
2 hours? You're moving about 2.5. You're moving about 2.5 miles per hour.
Okay.
So
Can I move faster?
5
2.5 miles
is 2
an hour?
hours. Average walking speed for a person is about 3 miles per hour, and then that's like on a nice flat road. So in the woods, it's just slightly slower than that.
Okay, I want to head back to Bontheris, and I want to find where the scouts are, and I want to have maybe like a 50-yard difference from them, and I know they've got to change ships at some point for reporting intel and just for changing ships. I want to follow one of them back and see where they head when the ships change.
Very clever. You make your way back to the river.
And then I'll be kind of looking around me to see if I'm passing by anybody on the way back.
Yeah. You can get back to the river. It'll be dark by the time you arrive back at the river. And while you're invisible, you can walk on the enemy side of the river where their backs are more exposed, and you can find one of the guards, one of the scouts who are watching the river. They have a mug of something in their hand that they're sipping while they're crouched awkwardly in a tree, which you can see they've like nailed some boards up there to sort of make it a little bit more of a steady, solid position.
Sure.
At the base of the tree is a pack with what you would assume to be their supplies. They don't have any armor. They do wear a short bow, and they've got a few arrows like set neatly on the tree in a place where they could reach them quite quickly.
Okay. I suppose I'll wait here for a while to see if I see anybody coming or going.
Yeah, the sun's already set by now, so if there's going to be a shift change, it was probably going to happen before the sun went down. Right? Or, wait, do they shift change in the middle of the night? You gonna wait all night?
I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna wait all night. Is it possible, seeing where they walked, that I can track where they came from? Did they leave any discernible footprints, or?
Yeah, let's take a look at your character sheet. You do not.
Oh, I have
you
tracking.
do have a tracking proficiency.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Why do we have that? Cool. Okay.
Because it's super fucking useful.
I just wrote it in now, hoping you didn't notice.
Tracking modifiers. Okay, I'm gonna have you make me a tracking proficiency check with the modifiers of +2 for the terrain. Just at a +2.
Cool.
What'd you roll?
21.
23 modified. Excellent. Yeah, as you're walking, as you look at this soldier here, this scout, you can see the trail of sort of bent grasses and broken flowers and some torn twigs nearby, and you can see that it leads off sort of in the northwardly direction. To follow it at nighttime is going to be a little bit slower because you're going to have to like bend down and get... Oh, actually, no, you've got ultravision.
True.
You can see at night just as well as it was day. Not a problem. You can follow this track all you want.
Sounds good. I'm following it.
Excellent. It leads sort of northward, and it goes for miles. You're going to end up walking pretty deep into the woods. Soon you find yourself 9 miles away from the river. That'll be like 4 hours later. So we're, 2 a.m. sort of time as you make your way to the very edge of the flatwood, another 3 miles further in. So you're what now? You're like 11 miles from the river. Dawn is coming pretty soon when you see the camp here. One small camp. There are 3 wagons and maybe 30 soldiers gathered around this camp. Most of them in tents, sleeping. A few people on watch right now. Their backs to the fire, staring out into the darkened woods. Horses grazing or sleeping. Folks settled in.
You said I saw 3 of those carts? Is it, it's pretty dark right now, huh?
Yeah. The only reason you can see is because you've got ultravision.
Is it really dark? Or is there a moon out? Like...
It is a few days before the new moon. So it's super dark, and you're inside the woods, so any starlight that would have filtered down already gets like diminished by the trees. It's real dark in these woods.
Okay, and you said they were still in the woods, right? Just at the edge, but they're still in the woods? Okay.
Yes.
Is it... Okay, hold on. Okay, because I'm going to scream at you if this is some dumb shit. Do I need to see a map of what's going on, or do I feel like I'm able to freely approach like the back of one of the carts and peer in, or how are these things like arranged, or... So for instance, like if it was the case...
are sort of arranged around a central fire where there's like a little cooking setup, and then the carts are on the far side of that from the river, and then the horses are, 90 degrees off of the center fire from the carts.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Can I walk around? Am I able to peer into any of these carts?
There are some guards on watch, but if you can get past the guards, or not alert them, then you should be able to look in.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah.
I don't know how close they are positioned to the carts, or if I can like see from like away, like 20 feet away. Can I like look from the back or whatever?
No, they're covered wagons, so you'd have to get all the way up to them and like lift a flap. You'd have to walk.
Oh, so not just like an opening in the back. They're totally covered.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. I don't have to take my, if I take my ring of spellcasting off, it doesn't undo any of the spells that are on, right?
Correct, they've already been cast.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm probably going to remove that ring of spellcasting. And I'm going to add my ring of seeing. So I have a ring of seeing right now, and my ring of reaction are the 2 that are on. And then I'm gonna activate my ring of seeing. Do I see any magical enchantments, any auras, anybody projecting an alignment?
No, there are no magical things anywhere near this camp except for what you are wearing.
Okay, well, I guess can I approach one of these carts from the side? What is it? Does it look like anything obvious?
Just looks like an ordinary covered wagon.
It's not making like a shape of anything like that, or
just an everyday ordinary wagon. Doesn't seem to be in that great of a condition. Looks like the Mystrians are having supply problems and vehicle problems.
Damn, okay. Do I feel like if I, is it just tied down with rope? Do I feel like if I get to the edge of a cart, can I like peel up a little bit and look, or am I gonna have to just like cut stuff away to see inside the...
Well, since you've got ultravision, you don't have to worry about lighting. You should probably be able to lift a small amount to see inside. In theory, the tarps are tied down, but they might just be like looped down. You might be able to
there's like 6
untie
ties
and
or
lift
something.
and then retie.
Sure.
You'd have to get real close to take a look.
Okay, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll get real close.
All right. What is your move silently chance? I have to roll it in secret since, you don't know if you fail or not.
It's 95. It's pretty high. Almost all my things are maxed at this point, except for read language.
Yeah. You sneak up to one of these wagons. The horses are still sleeping. The soldiers are still sleeping. The 2 on watch aren't even facing you.
Yeah, I'll go up and like peek under, I guess. What do I see?
You see these like weird frames, a whole bunch of them. They are maybe 6 feet long, and they've got thin wood sort of outlining a rectangle, and then like these long pieces of fabric that have been tied into them. So they sort of make these like boxes, like flat boxes with fabric, and then there's like 4 or 5 or 6 of these things stacked, and then underneath them are other like planks and boards with pulleys and some like weird mechanical stuff. It looks like some sort of contraption, some sort of like mechanical thing that has like
kind of like ballistas to kill dragons, maybe, or something different than that.
No, it doesn't look like a weapon. It doesn't have any pointy edges, but it's like
it's
it
not
looks
magical,
sort of,
right?
No.
Not magical.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks sort of like this, where you've got like a box, and then the inside of the box is fabric that's like pulled taut against the box, and then like a little thing that comes off of it with a contraption in the middle at the end to connect it to something. Like a giant paddle, but instead of that being a hard paddle, there's like a soft fabric where you would smack someone with it. Like a hollow cricket bat with fabric in between.
I saw a Bollywood movie once where they put a bunch of soldiers in something like this and then launched them into a castle. Could it be used for that? Or
That was a catapult. So no, this is not a catapult.
this wouldn't be something that you'd use to like put next to a tower to scale it, or like a makeshift bridge, right? You'd have harder material, right? The fabric, it wouldn't make sense for that.
Yeah, the fabric doesn't make any sense for any of those things. This isn't like any weapon of war that you've ever seen before.
Could I find in can I go and look at another cart? Do they all have the same thing?
Yeah, you go to the 3 carts. Each cart, well, the first 2 carts contain a bunch of these things. The last cart has some food, some water, some like extra arrows, extra tools, extra like regular gear, and then there are a whole bunch of casks of some fluid that don't look like the water tanks that you would carry. These are small, like little mini kegs of something, and they don't quite have like a tap that you would to like you would have on a normal keg or something. They would have to be like split open, or their tops would have to be pulled off, and you would dump all the material at once, or maybe force them out. I don't know.
It can never be like, because of the world we're in, it can never be like explosives, right? My mind would never go there.
Can't be explosives, no. I mean, it could be like flammable substances, but never explosives.
Okay.
And lots of rope.
Lots of rope. Interesting. Are there any animals sleeping in these woods? What kind of animals are known to be in these woods?
Deer, mostly small mammals, hedgehogs, squirrels, rabbits, skunks, birds of all kinds, the occasional wild horse, well, feral horse or feral donkey. What are you looking for? There's some bears, probably. There used to be centaur, but they've kind of moved now.
If I were to like chew through or chew on one of the ropes and then like tear up or chew some of the fabric, and it sounds like a squirrel or a raccoon or somebody is like fucking it up, I'm thinking like, is there a chance a soldier might come by and say something stupid like, they fuck up the fabric, we're not going to be able to XYZ, right, to give me some indication of what it's for. But I don't know if I could convincingly eat whatever this is.
Yeah, you could try it, but you'd be betting that they would then just announce their plans to the open air.
Well, I mean, it's not like they
Like
think
a
anybody
movie.
bad is here, right? Yeah, they do that in Metal Gear Solid movies all the time.
Movies.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Hitman? Yeah.
No.
Hold on, I gotta take a random call. Oh yeah, watch out. The code is 4782. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've sufficiently seen everything that's here.
Yeah.
I know everything that's here. Let me shuffle through my bag real quick to see if I feel like I have anything.
You have a fire breathing potion.
I don't know if I do.
Oh, no, you don't.
No, I don't.
In your bag of holding?
Nope, I don't have much in here. I have a lot of interesting potions, but not fire breathing. How many soldiers are here altogether awake?
Like, awake? There are 2. In the camp? 20, maybe? 30, maybe?
Easy.
Is a backstab silent or no?
If you kill them in one shot from a backstab, it's silent. If they pass a saving throw versus death, they will get an opportunity to like make a scream or something.
You get like 7 times damage dice in the backs.
Yeah, you'll definitely kill them in one shot.
You'll be fine. If you
Are the guards standing like right next to each other, or?
No, there's one over there and one over there.
Oh.
Other side, opposite sides of the camp.
Perfect.
Okay, I think I'm going to backstab. Oh, hold on. I have my Ring of Seeing on and activated. There were no invisible people. There was nothing weird like that. Nobody's standing in a tree line watching into the camp or anything, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, then I think I'm going to switch my Amulet of Health out for the Amulet of Teleportation. And then I'm going to stab the first soldier in the back.
It will break your invisibility.
Yeah, but you said it was very dark.
Yeah, it's very dark.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll and just don't roll a 1.
Koibu, why would I do that?
Just don't
Genuinely
botch it.
Okay.
Yeah. The soldier has 5 hit points, so I'm pretty certain they die right on the bat spot. Blade goes in, the blade goes out. You can't explain that shit, and they're dead.
Okay.
Silently. You can grab their body and gently lay it on the ground.
I'll do that. I would like to approach silently the other soldier from behind.
Yep. You approach nice and quietly. They're looking out into the woods, murmuring to themselves.
Wait, what are they murmuring?
Yeah, what are they murmuring?
Damn squirrels are always trying to eat the fabric.
Good one, Koibu. I will, I'm gonna do a couple things, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach into my bag of holding, my pocket actually. I'm gonna take my sword. I'm doing 2 things at the same time. Hopefully we have the coordination to handle this, Koibu. Again, considering I'm not in combat.
In D&D?
I'm going to set my sword across his shoulder, and I'm going to pull my darkness stone out at the same time. And I'm going to tell him to remain silent. I'm going to kill him. Don't say a word.
You pull out your darkness stone as you put your sword laying it on their shoulder.
Yeah, I set a sword on his shoulder, and I pull out my darkness stone. So he should lose vision, and then he's got a sword on his shoulder, and I whisper or I speak so he can hear me. Like, don't move or say a word.
Okay, I gotta check their morale modifiers for this situation.
Okay. I should be pretty
He
spooked.
rolled well
Koibu.
on morale. Penalty of 2 for this. Penalty of 4. 6. Penalty of 6, and they rolled a 6. So they would have had to have had 12 morale to succeed, and they don't. They have 10. So you can see through the darkness stone with your ultravision, I believe.
If I can with my Ring of Seeing, so it doesn't matter.
Ah, perfect, yeah. I surrender.
What's in these carts?
Fans?
Of who? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, fans for what?
They'll kill me.
I'll kill you. Much sooner than they will.
The fans for the fire.
Are you planning to set the forest on fire?
Yeah? There's hundreds of them. Hand-powered, 12-foot diameter blades, hand-operated. All up and along down the coast. It's hot this summer. Set it on fire,
Jesus.
create an artificial breeze, try and blow it that way across the river
I see.
until the winds are just right.
Can I reach
Look,
for...
I didn't want to do this. They
I don't care.
conscripted me. I'm not a volunteer.
Didn't ask. Can I reach forward and grasp him on his shoulder and give him a shock? I think it was 1d8 damage.
Yes. He will spasm as he falls unconscious on the ground.
Okay. I will sheathe my sword and go back to the cart. He said thousands, right? Wait, am I assuming that there's going to be way more of these like encampments up and down the...
You were told that thousands of soldiers had moved in here, but this is an encampment of 20 or 30 people. This is a small one. There could be dozens of these. Right? If it's 20 people, 5 of them would be 100, so 50 encampments like this would be 1,000 people.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, in that case, am I able to, if he's unconscious, I can bring him back with my amulet, right? Did we do
What's
that with
your
him?
amulet?
I did my amulet.
Transport him. Yeah, you can totally transport him.
Can I amulet of teleportation back to the mountain range?
Totally. I think you have given him...
What?
Have your parapet of wound closure, right? Do you have that on your character sheet anymore?
I don't believe I carry that anymore. I don't have it on my sheet. I don't know. So I gave it. I think one of you asked for
I
it.
probably have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You wrap up the man in your arms, activate your amulet, and soon you are at the top of a mountain
Yeah. I don't
in
know.
a cave.
How are we supposed to get back out from here?
I don't know either. It's a really awkward place to be in without a mage to help you fly home.
He has.
You've
fly.
still got polymorph.
I
You
do.
polymorph yourself and fly.
I do indeed have these two things. Can I transform into a griffin or?
Yes. Or whatever, Imric, you gotta have seen what you transform into before. I don't think you... Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen whatever he transforms into. Does that count?
Yeah, you could be whatever he has been.
guess
I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, but you kind of want something with hands so you can hold the guy's body.
I can't like
You
time
need to make sure the guy doesn't die.
Can I time to my back? You should be good.
Yeah, but you can't tie the rope onto a Pegasus.
Yeah.
I can speak to the rope of binding and bind it to my
Oh,
back.
Well, you can't speak.
You can't make
as a
animal
Pegasus?
noises?
I don't know if you can command the rope.
You can't command the rope as a Pegasus.
Okay, let's talk for a second about how speech works in this world, Koibu. When you speak, is it a magical thing that happens, or is it once the sound waves reach the person?
I don't understand what you mean.
If I'm in the cave and I say bind really loudly, and then I transform polymorph self, and it's like reverberating through the cave, does it?
It will attempt to bind right away, but it'll bind him to himself. It won't bind him to you, right? The rope isn't bind him to me.
Oh fuck.
Right? It just wraps him up.
You can fly and you're super fucking strong. Can you not just?
Oh yeah,
fast
gotta just like
fly
carry
and
the
pick 'em
dude.
up?
Yeah, that's fine.
How fast do I fly?
Hold on. I have the answer to this on my sheet.
You can get to the keep at least.
67
That's
miles
the
per
thing.
hour.
Damn.
No, not per
Sorry,
hour.
sounds-
per casting.
Per casting. Per casting. Okay.
How far is it from the mountain back to Wickthrun
104. You can get to the keep, and then you could take a boat home or something.
Sounds good. I'll fly, pick the guy up, go to the
Great.
keep.
Yeah, we
sounds
won't
good.
worry about the rest of it. You bring home a prisoner.
Gotcha.
Excellent. Excellent. And you will arrive home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later.
5 days?
Yeah, because you gotta, like, there's not a boat leaving every single day. It takes you, like, you get there at night, you get to the keep in the
Hold
morning.
on,
you're
wait,
exhausted.
okay, hold on. I talked a lot of shit in front of all those generals. Didn't I say 3 days? I'll take a
You
horse.
don't have to bring the prisoner back. You can
Yeah,
just
the
fly
prisoner
home
can be
with the polymorph
shipped.
Self.
The prisoner could be kept as a prisoner and shipped, but I want to be back in 2 or 3 days.
Oh, well,
okay?
then you can get yourself back in 3 days without any
Good.
problem.
That's good.
Yeah.
You can teleport back as well.
I don't. Do I trust that? Can I like die
No.
doing that?
No,
Yeah, then I'm not
don't
doing
trust
that. Yeah.
Great. All right, you are back in the capital actually 2 days later.
Good. Schedule a meeting. Queen of the Generals. Have a chat.
Yeah, all right. You're back in the room with them. They're looking around. Did you do it, Lord Tyrael?
I'll tell them about the prisoner. I have a prisoner from one of the encampments in the Flatwoods. He's at our keep right now. I did some investigating. It seems as though they have a plan to set the forest on fire, and I guess to use a giant set of contraptions to move the fire closer and closer to Bontheris and into the rest of, I guess, Drekus. I don't know how far. Everything east of the the Krollrog Ridge, whatever. I guess they intend to burn.
They do that? One of the people says, another one says, you can't set an entire forest on fire and create its direction. Another one pops up, they have a dragon. The dragon can fan its wings. And another one else says, but didn't you hear they've got contraptions? Oh, they're probably Nomish made. The whole room descends into argument about the feasibility of setting mass forest fires as a tactic of war. They're pretty split on the issue immediately.
I mean, I can tell them that I also
thoughts
found
that-
giant jugs filled with something, I guess, or that could have been full of something. Right?
Additional flammable materials, maybe? Oh, maybe water to put it out if it goes the wrong... Maybe it's just rations. Did you look inside the kegs?
I didn't look inside the kegs, but it didn't look like... I believe the kegs were sealed, weren't they? You said that, yeah, so I don't think that you would have water or alcohol being transported in a sealed thing that can't be opened.
They ponder amongst themselves. And by the end of the meeting...
You can ask the guy that I brought as well. I'm sure that there's a billion different mind reads that you could...
There's a prisoner? Absolutely. Bring him here. Where is he?
He's probably sleeping on a boat right now, heading from our keep. I'm sure it'll be a day or two before he's here, but...
Grumble. Well, we'll speak with him when he gets back. But forest fires are... If this works, our whole forest... built... It's not possible. The Krollrog Ridge would definitely stop it, but it could burn Bontheris. There's no way they could get those contraptions across a river.
Can forest fires jump rivers? Is that normal?
Depends on the strength of the winds and the width of the river, but certainly. It's a
Okay.
hot, dry day and there's a strong wind. Fires can leap ahead by 1/4 miles.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm the recon man. You're the generals. I'm sure that you're smart enough to figure out how to dig either a long enough. Don't they dig ditches in Colorado or California? If you dig a
You can
sufficiently
make fire breaks, yeah.
Yeah. So you would either deforest the western side of the river sufficiently far enough such that no amount of wind would help, or if we were truly the mighty warriors we thought we were, we should go to the dwarves or the gnomes, and we should get our bigger fans built, and then we could blow the fire back at them. But otherwise, no, I'd probably say just the digging the trench would be good.
Well, as you said, we're the generals, you're the scout, but thank you for everything, Lord Tyrael, says the person who initially suggested you do this and was happy when you failed to. You continue to surprise me year after year.
I'm not sure if I should be insulted or appreciated, but thank you.
It's a compliment.
Okay, I'm good. I nodded the queen. Am I good here?
Yes, she dismisses you while the rest of them sort of mill out of the room, still arguing about possible, retorts and generally agreeing that we should just send like an extra 500 men, maybe 1,000 men over there to prepare and put out any fires that might cross the river. And sort of, they're going to come up with a plan. It's not your job to worry about it, though.
True.
All right.
Good job.
Emmerich McGarry. Oh, no, not Emmerich McGarry. I'm sorry, Nick. You're getting kind of not a lot of time this week, but...
Fuck him.
Not Emmerich. The other one,
The great Anton.
The great and terrible Anton. You're gonna do your ceremony. And you're taking 20 prisoners. 20
prisoners,
families.
10,000 gold pieces for the ceremony used. 20 prisoners,
Yeah.
20 of our, warriors who sought vengeance on a few prisoners. So we're bringing them. 20 plus 2 spears are coming along on this envoy.
And to Shirebrook, we go by ship. It'll take you a while to get here. You will have a special ship charted for just
I bring
this
the wife
purpose.
too.
You bring the wife, of course you do. We're gonna say that you end up leaving on the 13th of August on Jubilee.
Oh, I missed his wedding?
Assuming... What?
I missed Tyrell's wedding on Jubilee? You said that was what it was?
Disgusting.
You got to be there for it. Okay, so we'll postpone the leaving for the day after. You'll leave on the 14th. I'm assuming that after Tyrell's wedding, you're going to be in fine shape to do this.
Yes.
Okay. You leave for Shirebrook on a long voyage. Well, not that long, actually, kind of a short voyage. You pass White Shore, the town over here, which seems completely abandoned. There are like creatures grazing in the streets. No one really knows what happened to the people of White Shore, but the city has been sort of just vanished and abandoned for some time. Your ship will arrive in the old ruined docks of Shirebrook, a city ruined by demons years ago and left just to sort of rot and fester. This place has an uneasy vibe around it. There are buildings that are still intact. Many of them show signs of fire damage or being ripped and torn down. There was once a thriving, peaceful little coastal town. There's the ruins of a keep on a nearby hill. Some streets run through it. Big river nearby.
The ritual will probably take a day or two to set up. The prisoners are guarded heavily in the town square of Shirebrook, and that's where we'll do it.
What time of day or night do you do this ritual?
Let's do it at sunset, because that's when a new beginning will happen.
Excellent. Okay, it's perfect timing. Everyone is prepared. You've spent 2 days setting up this ritual. You've got your prisoners, you've got your tents, the boat's waiting out in the harbor, some people on it to keep it safe, doing watch on the boat, but everyone else has come out to see what the hell is going on. What is the great Anton McGarry brought us here for? What is the ritual that all this manpower and material has been used for, that these prisoners and these family men are here for? And he brings his wife and everything. And as everyone gathers round right near sunset, and everyone's in the position, they've been given their proper parts to do, and the sun is setting in the west, a dark shadow crosses over the whole of the town, briefly sort of blocking out the light from any moon and stars above. Give me a perception check, Anton.
Better not. Sorry, I clicked the party sheet. 1 second. 19.
You look to the sky, but it's too dark to see what it was that cast a large shadow over your ritual. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was just a cloud passing over the moon. Maybe it's Velthara herself here blessing you.
Fine.
But it's time.
Anton will cast, he'll do a small speech in the middle about vengeance, and, this is the first place that the Mystrians and the Drakisians started the war. He will cast Commune to get Velthara's attention on this very special ritual. He's not going to cast it in the way where he's going to ask her for answers, but he's going to cast it in the way to kind of get her attention.
You're getting her attention, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then he is going to have the soldiers with the +2 spears that he brought execute one at a time all of the Mystrian soldiers and take the blood that drops and put it onto he needs a conduit for it, so could it have happened in the months that he had like a very nice mithril spear made?
The not the soldiers, the families will do the executions.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, excellent. One at a time, they come up and run through the soldiers. Some of the smaller kids need help plunging their spears into these bodies.
They will take the blood and put it on his mithril spear that he has in the middle, I guess, like in the big circle. After each family does it, on the 20th one, Anton will bring his wife over. He's going to do the Velthara.
Did she know that she was going to be part of this ritual? So she's just here to watch, and then you like, how do you tell her that she's now part of it?
There is no really telling. I think Anton just kind of does it.
You just take her by the elbow and lead her in.
He's gonna bring her into the middle to where the spear is. He's going to cast Hold Person on her.
If she fails her saving throw versus spell, she's stunned and held in place.
He's going to put the Velthara symbol on her belly and let the blood
What do you mean
drop
you're going to put it on her belly? How are you going to put it there?
with his with the new spear. That has
Like you're just going to paint the blood on her?
No, he's going to stab a bit in and make a scar.
You're going to carve into your pregnant wife's belly
Yeah,
the symbol of Velthara
that's right.
while she's held and can't resist. Yeah. Your spell, your hold person lasts for far longer than it would take to do this as
Far
you etch
longer.
into her flesh the symbol of your goddess.
And then hopefully his ritual would be complete at that point.
And what do you do with the 20 spears?
He thinks he sacrifices those to Velthara, each one
Into
he will
the fire.
sacrifice into the fire. And he thinks back and he makes a promise to Velthara that the firstborn child that these two have, Anton is going to take with him to Solemn. He's going to basically mold him into the perfect like spear of vengeance, and one day he will use this spear to strike Anton down and take over the reign as the vengeance
Jesus
slayer.
Christ.
You call these words out. Do you speak them in the common tongue? Do you speak them in like tongues? Do you, when you make
probably
these
tongues.
proclamations?
Probably tongues, yeah.
Yeah. You make loud remarks. The spears in the fire go up in flame. The roaring bonfire filled with the right woods, the right incenses, the things to produce the correct smells and colors, little rare metals tossed in there from time to time by your helpers to light it up with blue or red or yellow at any given moment. And as the ritual reaches its crescendo, your assistants will toss in the rest of their precious metals, which will cause the fire to sort of burst and erupt in a large gout of flame, sending small embers into the sky, illuminating the sky temporarily, before the whole fire sort of blows itself out unnaturally so. And standing, spear tip down in the middle of the ash, is a brand new spear, one never seen before. What, Anton, does this spear look like? What does the spear visually look like? This spear that Velthara has given you for this task, the spear that will strike you down one day.
The tip is of mithril, of course, because it cannot be defeated by rust monsters.
Of course.
Very smart.
The staff is also made out of mithril because it was shut up.
It's just a bluish, hueish weapon that is just a stick of mithril.
It is a pure mithril staff that has now been corrupted, I would hope, by the blood of everybody who's been put into it. So it's a pure mithril staff that, and mithril usually shines kind of like white or silvery, right?
Yeah, it's kind of got like a slight bluish, silver blue.
That now is like a dingy, like red color. But the spear looks really cool, like Final Fantasy spear.
Nice. Excellent.
Couldn't the tip of it look like the Velthara symbol?
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, if we can have that.
Whatever you say.
All right,
like a little
the tip will
cross on the
also
back
be the
of it.
Velthara symbol, yeah.
Excellent. As you
The
pull
handle
spear,
should be like, it's just got like very, 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 it looks like just a lot of texture. But if you get real up close to it, impossibly finely carved, it couldn't have been done by a human. It could be like the faces of like every main person you've killed thus far in your journey.
If Koibu will allow it.
Yeah, definitely.
So as you kill people, the spear takes on the face.
I don't know if it would continue to change, but at least up to
Maybe
this
it can.
point.
Excellent.
There you go.
As you draw
Anton
the
picks it
spear from the ground, the hold person spell wears off on your wife, and she drops, catching herself sobbing as the blood flows from her belly.
Anton
So-
will clap and have
sailors-
the guards fix her up.
A successful day. He smiles to
Say-
himself.
The sailors and assistants will quickly make back for the boat where their camp is, taking your wife with them as you go about and sort of tidy up any last bits that need to be done.
That was awesome.
Anton will remind everyone that what happened here today will stay here. And if he gets an inkling of it, the word getting out, vengeance will not be for them to find. It will be for him. And he'll look across the crowd.
No one meets your gaze. Everyone looks away. You know that they are cowed. Not one of these people would dare betray you at this point. Not after what they witnessed here today.
That's good.
You can head in your boat and go back home. But a few days before this was
The Joyceum wedding.
Imperial's wedding. A joyous day on Jubilee, one of the high holidays here in Arcadia. Jubilee is a holiday dedicated to Chis, goddess of sort of appearances and beauty and grace, and Luna, the goddess of passion, Ephra, the goddess of art and inspiration, Agepa, the hunter, Bellum, the god of war, Seir, the god of crafting and making things, and Quantarius, the god of trade, Jexel, the god of luck and wine, and Womator, the god of joy. They all sort of come together for a grand festival where people dress up in elaborate costumes and paint their faces or wear masks and play games of skill and balance. Archery competitions feature heavily on this day. There's all sorts of art being made and sold in the streets, and generally people are sort of out to have a joyous, playful day. This is also a time to make your intentions known to that special someone in your life. It's a time to show off your skills. It's a time to playfully practice the arts of war and fight each other with sticks. It's a great recruitment opportunity for clerics of Bellum. And it's also a day to make dirt angels and eat your fill, drink until you're red in the face, run around in the circles, and just like let loose and have a nice time in the middle of summer. And is on this
It was like not family.
Fatty?
Famia.
Yeah, fam. I just call it fam. But yeah.
Yep.
Is
She's fam.
the crown prince Van here?
Van is not here with fam, unfortunately.
That is too bad.
That is a buddy sidekick movie that'll come out next season. But yeah, everyone is gathered round for the wedding. Anton's here. Anton's wife is here. She's beaming and smiling, so happy. You know, even what's his name? Even Imric comes out just for a quick hour to do the ceremony before he has to go back to his work. Before the
Oh, and I can
potions
take
that he gets
take
through.
more than an hour off, no?
Well, you've got some fluids that are brewing in the lab, and
Wait,
they're
I'm
gonna go
making
through a chemical
hang on,
change
hang on.
pretty quickly. So
I'm making scrolls, not potions, right?
yeah, but you're researching a spell, and so you're like playing with fluid dynamics, being like, well, what if I mix these things? Is it, like you're testing the alchemical properties of this and that and the other thing. You're divining the magics to come, and that requires a lot of research, and sometimes that research is fairly active.
Okay, fine. I come in and I win the archery competition and I go back.
Win the
Skip the wedding.
You think
just
you'd
go to
win the archery competition? I don't know.
I absolutely would win the archery competition.
I'm not sure. They make you remove all your gear before you shoot. No cheating allowed in these competitions.
Whoa, do they?
Of course they do. Yeah, you're not gonna have people with magical
can't use
enchanted
your own
stuff
bow.
coming in here.
No, but I could wear my braces though. No.
It's a competition of skill, good sir, not a competition of how wealthy your family is. Any
Fine.
any
Even
lad
still.
from the lands with the truest eyes should be able to win this competition, okay?
The custom for 3 brothers to, do the archering.
Yeah, could Oxombar not look after the potions and whatever for the night?
Oh,
So
so
I can go
she
to the
doesn't get to
wedding.
come to the wedding?
Well, if one of us gets to go, it should be me.
She's our somber. She should be here for the wedding.
I'm the best
both go
man.
for so why don't you just both go for an hour and then come back and keep your study going? Imric, are you even dedicated to magic?
I've been working on this scroll for the last 3 months. Let me go to my brother's wedding. One of your apprentices can watch the potions boil.
Okay.
We're gonna roll for that.
I'm going to the wedding.
Good.
This
Good.
is where I'll
Well
find
done.
my wife. I wear the nicest of clothes. I have a special bow made that I'm going to use to do the competition. I'm going to enter all the competitions because I'm the best
Oh.
fighter.
Can we use the Rod of Splendor for this wedding?
Do we need to? Don't we have splendor? It's a fucking royal wedding.
We don't have to, but we're never gonna get to use this fucking.
I carry the rod of splendor underneath my robes.
Thank you.
And whenever I go up to an attractive debutante, I will clutch my rod tightly.
Imric McGarry, my, you're giving me the. I didn't realize you were so handsome. I mean, whew.
I know.
Is there a monsoon coming or what? Oh,
You'll have to bide your time, I'm afraid. I have many more people to see. But yeah,
and
I
there
get
she
around.
goes.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
do you have
Your
anything
vows.
you'd like to say to your wife upon your special day here, Tyrael? Do you have any wedding vows you'd like to make?
Till one of us die, do us part, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What wedding vows do you have for? What do you say to somebody you've never even met before for an arranged
Talk
wedding?
about how you're uniting the families,
Yes,
creating
this
the empire.
represents a great union between the rightful ruling family and the current ruling. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say it. This represents a great union between the McGarrys, a family that has proven time and time again its timeless service to the kingdom, and the royal family, the family with which the McGarrys serve.
The imperial family.
The royal imperial family.
Yes.
I hope that for almost as many days as this wedding lasts, more days, follow us or come behind us or ahead of us for the kingdom all being together and having fun. I don't give a fuck.
Imrix looks on in dismay.
I've drank a lot. I had a lot to
Anton
drink
will
for this
stand
wedding.
up and say, "My
I'm
brother's
just-
drunk a little bit
Yeah.
too much today."
I don't normally drink, but I thought it was a momentous occasion, and yeah.
The queen will oversee and officiate the wedding herself.
I'm glad.
She
Wait,
helps
was she there
you
for my
change-
wedding?
No. Well, she
she
was
got bad
present
things
for
to
it. No,
Absolute
she wasn't.
bastard.
You held it in a weird place far away near enemy lands. She can't go to that castle.
Yeah, that's alright.
True.
Did she
Yeah.
give us a gift for this? What's
Oh,
our
totally.
dowry on this one?
Yeah, the queen gives you a gift for each of your weddings. Anton,
Magic items?
It's not magic items. God. It is a fine quilt stuffed with the hair from, what do you call it? Rumvarax hair scattered throughout the
Wow.
quilt. Yeah.
Good, Nick?
It's like a
It's fun.
golden weasel.
Yeah, like an
Oh.
eight-legged.
No, a golden honey badger. Sorry.
That's what it is, yeah.
They fuck up.
Woven from the finest silks with the richest, deepest dyes. You know, this is probably a 2,000 GP blanket that she's gifted you,
Jesus.
that she's had made especially for this occasion. It's got like the symbols of your family on it and like a tapestry woven throughout it of
Very
like
fine.
the family history of the Wick family, which is your
I
family.
make sure to go up to her at this wedding, thank her for the very finely gifted quilt. Impeccable taste, Mike.
And as a special surprise, after the vows are said and the wedding is done, during the reception where Famia and Tyrael are sitting awkwardly next to each other because this is just a political union. They don't know each other. They don't love each other. That's just, it is what it is.
We'll grow to love each other. We're both lovable people, I'm sure.
Yeah, grow one day. But it is during the ceremonies and the dancing on this day of Jubilee that the queen will stand up and produce a small golden crown, and she will set it on the table before her. And she will announce to all the people present at this wedding, the generals, the lords, the ladies, the courtiers, the servants, the onlookers in the distance, the cooks, the cleaners. She will announce that when Scoria is slain and Mystria falls into our hands, Tyrael McGarry shall be known as King McGarry of Mystria. And she lifts it, and this shall be his crown. And she will place it, near you so that you can see it, but also not close enough that you can take it and put it on your head because you're not a king yet.
Very powerful.
I'll nod and respectfully bow and all that. Yeah.
All right, you don't care.
Everyone.
I know. Whatever is the respectful. I don't know if bowing is.
Yeah.
Anton will stand up and clap, and then lead everybody in
clap.
King
Sounds
McGarry.
All right.
I want everyone clapping for me. Yes.
Yes.
When the night nears the end, Koibu.
When everyone's had their fill of drink, and Tyrael's barely standing.
Give a nod to two ladies that Imric was chatting up earlier. Probably two of Fairmay's friends. What's her name?
We just call her Fam.
Famia?
But Famia.
Fam. He gives a nod to Fam's best friends. And he'll give a nod to Imric. And Imric and Anton are going to go and pick Tyrael up. And they're going to carry him to the bedroom.
Let's go.
And then her friends are going to carry her to the bedroom.
Excellent. Tyrael, you get carried off by your family to your new family. It's a great time to be had.
Give her a right one.
It is a great time. I have the Amulet of Constitution, so it's going to be a tremendous night.
Be a good night. Gonna roll a con check for us?
Yeah, that's the best nat 20 of my life. Okay, close enough. There we go.
It's actually quite close, yeah.
She's exhausted. 37, that's insane.
She might not have loved you before, but...
This might work out, she thinks.
Absolutely.
Pitchers of water get brought to the room over the course of many hours as they refresh themselves. Excellent. After a long, hard night, Anton will leave the next morning. Tyrael can sleep in and then continue his dragon riding practice because we're sort of playing weird with time, and this is 2 weeks before you're done learning how to ride a dragon.
Yeah.
And before we end our session today, I would like to... We're so close, Nick. We're so close. You are 3 weeks off from your spell. We're gonna...
Hang on. You said I was going to... You said I was going to get some time bonus because of Sombar, right?
Yeah, but then you also wanted to take some extra time to... You said you wanted to start it at 60%.
60%.
Yeah. So why don't we just get to that 60% mark on September 11th, apparently.
Oh.
And why don't you make your roll to see if you have learned this spell? What was your base chance?
25, wasn't it?
25, yeah. And then it's another 10% for each week that you practice. So you waited 4 more weeks. 65. Roll me a D100. Do not roll a 99 or 100.
Oh, fuck. I'm going lower than 65, okay.
Wait. Yeah. 65 or lower. Definitely, yeah.
Nice. Good job.
You'll do it. You will learn it. And the very next day, the Ichor will arrive. And you can settle in to brew the potions, to make the scrolls.
I also want to learn one spell as well if I've got extra time, but...
Can you tell us what the spear does?
Yeah, true.
I actually didn't figure it out yet. I did all the preparations for the ceremony and everything, and I completely forgot to figure out the spear.
I want to try and learn that death spell, Neal, if I can take 62 extra days, which I think at this point it should be fine.
I want to actually pause us before you make those rolls, unfortunately, because we are butting up against some timeline issues. And so we will, when we come back next week, we will roll back the time a little bit to talk about something that wouldn't have affected this, most likely. And then we will proceed forward from there, and Imric can do his spell learning and anything else.
Okay.
Also, when we come... You also have to make the scrolls, which is just more time and dice rolls, but that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
When we come back next week,
Green
you'll
Dragon.
have everything. Green Dragon? Didn't you want
Green
the Green
Dragon
Dragon
for
to fuck up Matava for a while?
It's been a while, like 3 months, right?
Yeah, it's been like 3 months. Look, guys.
Okay. We'll talk about what happens in Matava and the Green Dragon there. And after the Green Dragon, is there anything standing in your way other than the final day, the final plan, the final slaying of Scoria?
I think we're going to do a slow-ish march with our troops up. Nick has a cool battle plan that he should probably show you and confer with the generals, make sure they're cool with it. But I think after the Green Dragon, we will start our slow march on Scoria, unless we really want to be safe and kill Scoria's children. Just so we don't have little dragons flying around trying to kill.
I'm not too worried about them. If we're going to do anything extra, I think we should do something about the wizard. That's what I'm most worried about. The other red dragons.
You can't really do anything about the wizard who lives inside the home, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking that like if we could find some way to bait him out. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. But that's what I'm worried about.
We can talk about it, but I think that's the play. It's the Green Dragon next week.
And then and then
Okay.
Scoria, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well then, we will do this next week.
All right. Let me see if we have any questions. We have 5 questions. Okay.
Well,
For MrMouton, Koibu always says, if you want answers, it is better to try and get player characters to make decisions that lead towards answers. The Queen seemed to already know what Anton's amulet was, and some would say negative effects it has on those who wear it and those who remain near it. Does Anton care to learn more about his holy artifact and those who came before him and their effect of history, or who cares because he will top them all?
I don't think Anton cared. He is Velthar's chosen. He's happy with the artifact. What they did with it doesn't matter. It's his artifact right now. He doesn't really care.
Okay. Question for Emmerich/Nick. I'm wondering if magic/potions cause any sort of euphoria for their user. If so, do potions or magic trigger anything for Emmerich since he's a former alcoholic/addict?
I didn't think so. No, sorry.
Ocean.
No? Okay.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, you could maybe make some sort of potion that made you feel drunk without the negative side effects, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. For everyone, if you had to ask a Patreon question so you didn't feel like you were wasting an opportunity, what would you ask? I don't think we're gonna have to answer that one. But okay. If one of the brothers had to die during the final battle, who would be the most willing to give themselves up for their country and their family?
I think probably Anton would, but he would fear that Velthar might get really fucking mad at his family.
I mean, I think Tyrael sees himself as the eldest, so I mean, it would be his responsibility too, I would imagine so.
I think once upon a time, Emmerich would have been happy to do it, but I think now he wouldn't.
Nah, Emmerich needs to stay alive and make magic items for the kingdom so they can
That's it. Yeah.
That's your goal. You're our golden goose now.
I am.
To Koibu, why did Georg become a wraith, and did he reunite with his slave/BFF Reptar in heaven?
Did he?
He died under very weird circumstances, sort of moving between planes and realities, and he was already a dimensionalist who already had like a specialty in wraith-like magic. The circumstances of his death contributed to his afterlife, especially his intelligence and his power as a mage sort of bound him to that point. As to the afterlife, does he get to spend it with Reptar, his friend? Sort of. The afterlife is works a little bit funny. You sort of exist in the body that you were buried as, or as you died. In that form, but at the age of like half whatever you were when you died. So if you died when you were 80 and you were buried in nice clothes, you would spend your afterlife at the age of 40 in the nice clothes that you were buried in. If someone later comes along and steals your nice clothes and steals all your shit, then you spend the rest of your afterlife from that point on without the nice things. So, stealing shit from graves is essentially like making people experience their afterlife without the stuff that they were buried. There's a reason to bury people with nice things. Incinerating bodies means they get to spend afterlife as like bones and in like a fleshless hellscape. So, bury your dead, don't burn them. And then you get to sort of wander through all of your life, revisiting all of your moments, watching it as a third-party observer. If you lived a really, really terrible life, if you were like a slave or you were brutally beaten or like you just were in a situation where life really fucking sucked, you might spend the first 100 years of your afterlife in just those 1 or 2 moments that were really joyful or like happy for you. And then you get to like hang out in those moments. And then as the years roll by on the afterlife and you sort of gain new perspectives on things, you get to see things from different points of view, and you might change your opinion about the way you lived your life. If you were a monster but like loved being a monster for your whole life and just abused people and stole things and murdered everyone that got in your way and like lived a big fat wealthy life, you might end up being in like sort of a tortured hellscape for the rest of your life, because as you revisit all of your activities for hundreds and hundreds of years, you get to like revisit those moments and see what you were doing to other people. So does Georg get to hang out with Reptar? Certainly, but like he doesn't hang with Reptar. He gets to like revisit his time with Reptar and when they crossed the mountains together and when they became friends, you know, that whole onslaught.
Wow. Precious. Okay, well, I believe I'm going to be stationary for a whole month, okay? I'm not going to be traveling anywhere, so I will be here the same time next week. I think we're all good for that.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Awesome.
That's it.
Cool. All right. Well, we will be back then, and then I'll be streaming after this because that's what I love to do for you guys. I love to live stream. Okay. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone.